Hello, everybody. Good night. Welcome. What? Did I say something wrong, Patrick?
It just makes it seem like a...
You were saying goodbye. Yeah.
Good evening.
There we go.
Better than good night. Good night,
Especially
everybody. Thanks
like
for coming
Dracula.
out to our stream. Okay, hello. Welcome back. This is episode 2 of Wheel of Time, The Restless Blight by Massive Damage Adventures. Hey, hello. We are normally a one-shot RPG podcast, but every once in a while we're doing stuff on Twitch. Right now we are celebrating the Wheel of Time by doing an after show and actual play. I am Meric Moir, my pronouns are he, him, and we have the same returning crew to discuss. Let's go around. You can all just say your names and say something friendly to the viewers. Jen, you want to start?
Is nobody else hearing that?
What's that? Hearing what?
What?
It's like popcorn and mouth smacking and whispering. It's
Are you?
Jen,
okay?
are you channeling right now?
Yeah.
Are you?
What is that?
In this turning of the wheel, the female half of the source is tainted.
Or she
my.
was perhaps killed. That's spoilers for the future. Never mind. Those are huge spoilers.
Hi, I'm Jen and I have an audio problem I gotta figure out.
Very good. Tim?
Tim? My name is Tim. My pronouns are he, him. And yeah, now I'm concerned about Jen's audio problem.
My name is Patrick. My pronouns are he, him. And I'm not concerned about Jen's audio problem. She's got it.
I am Alex. My pronouns are she, they. I'm fairly neutral on the issue.
I'm Nicole. My pronouns are she, her, and I hope Jen gets that figured out.
All right. This episode is sponsored by our friends at Neverending and Roll20. So, Neverending is a website where you can create your own character art and portraits and tokens like we have with these 5 that you can see right here. You can get a free account at beneverending.com or beneverending.app. Well done. And if you pay a little extra for a subscription, you get a ton of additional options. And they've got a lot of stuff coming. Since we were online last, they have put out a new update, and I already noticed a couple of extra things in there. So, checking it out. Their plans for the future are pretty cool. Eventually, you're going to be able to put together your own webcomics and short animations using their app. All in one.
That's cool.
Yeah. And Roll20, our sponsor of basically everything. Thank you, Roll20. We love you.
Yeah.
You are seeing the background in Roll20 right now. I can click and it'll be like, oh, look, pings. We're going to talk about things that happened right around here. Roll20 is a virtual tabletop that can be used for a whole bunch of different games, whether your game is Dungeons and Dragons or Firefly or, I don't know, whatever, Star Trek. It is pretty much there. If they don't have an official module for character sheets and tokens and stuff, somebody has probably made it as a fan. And most of them are pretty good. If you go to roll20.net and sign up for a free account, you can get your own virtual tabletop and upload everything that you want. You can go to their marketplace and buy pre-made things. And if you sign up for a pro account, you get dynamic lighting, token macros, rollable tokens, and monthly bonus content. You get a free thing every month. I think last month's was the Familiars. There's like some cool animated or like really cute like glowing familiar tokens, which are pretty cool. All right. And today we've got a lot on the docket. Besides our actual play after this, we are going to be discussing episodes 2, 3, and 4, because in our first session, we only talked about episode 1. And we're going to be talking about episodes 2, 3, and 4 to sort of catch up. And we know episode 5 is out, but we're going to give you a little bit of a break and let you, maybe you're not caught up. Yeah. Okay. Patrick has not seen episode 5 yet, so hard no spoilers on episode 5.
I will flip.
Also, books, we don't discuss past the 3rd book. We only talk up to The Dragon Reborn. And
we try our best.
We try our best. I mean, in my notes, I've got a thing that says, ooh, that's a later book spoiler.
I already almost did that, like 1 minute ago.
And our next session together will be in 2 weeks, where we'll be discussing episodes 5 and 6. Yeah. And that's great. We actually have the episode count now. I thought the season was going to be 7 episodes, but it's 8. So we'll have to figure out our next date because we're not going to play on New Year's Eve. Feel like that seems unlikely?
I mean, I didn't have any other plans, but I guess.
I suppose we're not going out. I mean, we could actually play and then like...
I'd actually be okay with that.
You know what? We'll talk about it. And then five of us celebrate like New Year's maybe on stream, and Alex just hangs out for an extra hour.
Yeah.
And then we wait.
Yeah.
Then it's New Year's for Alex.
Okay.
More game for an hour, and then the second New Year's for everyone.
Yeah, and then we get to drink twice.
Works out well
Excuse I'll
for
make.
you.
And so, welcome to all of our viewers and people, hopefully, that are going to be chatting and winning things. Because guess what?
Woo!
Once again, our good friends at CortexRPG fandom have given us 5 copies of this. Whoa. I'm sure that was great for audio. 5 copies of this in PDF to give away. Ooh, the Cortex Prime Core Rulebook. Flip it over so that's right. No, that's worse.
Yep.
Yeah, I was like, oh my gosh.
You had it right the first time.
Yeah, no, it was...
Meric doesn't know how words are.
It's backwards, okay? There's no way to fix it. It's backwards.
It's backwards? That looks fine to me.
That looks
No,
totally fine.
that's
You're
fine.
good. That's perfect. Good
I'm
job.
looking at the OBS thing with the players, or that the viewers are seeing, and it's backwards.
It's backwards for them, but it's forward for us on.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like this world.
It's because of
Oh,
how it's
I
captured.
see.
confusing.
Oh, yeah. Maybe.
Anyway, yeah.
Computer.
I hate it. I'm out. I'm done with this.
I mean, I could do it, but I don't want to because then I would be flipped, and then my... Anyways. This is great. If you don't know Cortex RPG, it's what we're playing tonight. It's a modular game that you can attach to any setting. Generic system that you can put to anything, and it's modular because there's a whole bunch of rules, and then there's a whole bunch of exceptions to those rules or alternates to the rules, so that you can build the game that will really fit the story you're trying to tell or the setting that you're trying to copy, which is what we did with Wheel of Time. I'm not going to put that over there. There's a tower of things and it would fall. Put it
Is
right
it a-
there.
Weird metal tower in the middle of the field.
No,
It's
there's
a book tower.
there's headphones. I got Claim the Sky by Monty Cook Games just came out, so I got that. I got a Witcher
Is that
book.
that fighter pilot one?
No, Claim the Sky is superheroes.
Okay.
Yeah, I got a
Fighter
Witcher
pilot one was
book,
confusing.
an Eberron book. Anyways. I should stop wasting time. We have a lot to discuss. Let's talk
I
about
need to
episode
talk about
2.
the show right now. I haven't talked
So
about
much to
any
talk
of it.
Just a reminder to the chat too. You can throw up your questions and we'll
Ooh,
talk
yeah.
about them.
We will
Engage,
smash
we'll
right through them and
discuss.
ignore them entirely.
Okay.
6 nerds and we're
Yeah.
going strong.
We will yell at you because it'll be from episode 5.
How dare you?
Everyone else, I'm not looking at chat, so everyone else.
Don't look at
proofread.
chat. Yeah, I won't say anything. That's episode 5.
I brought up the wiki so I would have story points, just to remind myself. And I scrolled and it was like all of the text of episode 5, and I was like, yeah.
All right. So we discussed last time the first episode, Leave Taking. Now we're talking episode 2, Shadows Waiting. So, I mean... Oh, sorry, Nicole, were you saying something?
I muted myself earlier so I could sneeze without disturbing you all.
Ah,
Yeah, no, I was just saying that there are definitely some shadows in that episode.
there's some excellent shadows in that episode. So, I mean... Episode
skip to
2.
the end.
No. We're going to start
Right to the
right
end.
off. We're going to start right off with they really go hard on introducing the White Cloaks and showing us the White Cloaks are different in this turning of the wheel. We get torturer burning an Aes Sedai at the stake, and he's super dark, and we don't know his name at this point, but we later find out this is Eamon Valda. So he's a child of the light, and they've changed his character quite a bit, but really, really capturing the White Cloaks.
He's
with him.
he's super cheerful about the torture.
He's very
Yeah.
He's like-
cheerful. He loves it.
First of
What
all,
He's
the fuck
very
was up with
fascinating.
that bird he ate?
that's a thing.
Yeah, that's a
It's
cuisine.
a delicacy you can get.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not cool or
What
I'm pretty sure it's
like
illegal
a
now.
delicacy you can get in fantasy
our
world.
Our
Oh,
world that we
really?
live in right now.
In our world,
Oh, wow.
there are
Yeah.
people
Huh.
who do it, but as I said, I'm fairly sure it's illegal now. But yeah,
I mean, probably
Is it
here.
No.
Is it a particular species of bird, or is it just like a
No.
preparation of bird?
I think it's like small birds, little baby ones.
Okay, so what did he eat?
It's not good,
So
like I said.
He eats a bird, beak and bones and feet and all,
Tiny
so
little
that
cooked bird.
when you're chewing it, it cuts the inside of your mouth and your blood mixes with the meat. Talk about a character introduction.
I'll tell
Yeah.
you right now, if you ever wanted to introduce a character and have the viewers not like this character, what a good way to just, like, wow, what no redeeming characteristics for this guy.
He's
Yeah,
got a
You
nice
just straight
smile.
up dislike him right out the
He's
gate.
got a nice smile, and he's very clean.
But he seems like it's so, he seems so unsettling.
Yes.
Like,
and that's
Yes.
something that I really loved about the White Cloaks in this iteration is like how clean everything is. They are pure white. There's no dirt on anything. They just
that's six.
crisp and clean, and like everything is just like I just love that very crisp attention to detail.
I kind of wish they had armor.
I also do.
I'm wondering if we'll see it later on when we actually get into
See them in
battles
battle.
and things.
That's
Because when
fair.
they're just traveling, it
They
makes
felt
more
less
sense that
martial
they're-
than I liked.
They looked
But-
like monks.
What I do like is the like cool shoulder pauldrons that they've got that denote rank. I love that.
Yeah, that was
A
pretty
lot.
cool.
So I know this is jumping forward, but just again talk about the White Cloaks. I also really like that the Lord Captain Commander, that's what he's called, right?
Just Lord Captain, isn't it?
You're right. The Lord Captain Commander would be Pedro
Pedro
Nile.
Niao.
This is Lord Captain Jeffrem Bornhold.
I love him. Oh,
I loved him already, but yeah, that they really showed that difference between like, here's a questioner White Cloak, here's another White Cloak. He's still kind of zealoty, but he was way less, like right off the hop. He was not as
Yeah.
abrasive and as gross.
I also love in the difference betwixt the books and show how many times he calls him a questioner.
You
And
know
in the
what?
books, they hate that term.
In the second watch through, we looked and we carefully watched Valda's face to see if he was like, "Ooh, I am the hand of the light," but he doesn't. So that might just be something that they're not doing for the show.
I think so.
But Bornhold looks
trolled.
heckin' annoyed.
Yeah.
Like
I really
every
like his
time.
character.
And
He fits with what I imagined.
in another departure from White Cloaks, he suggests that Moiraine get a sister to look at the wound.
Yep.
Really sharply against White Cloaks versus Questioners.
Yeah. It's in that opening scene. I was like, "Lady, I know you got no hand, but y'all can still channel."
No,
Don't
well,
know that.
Like how did they capture her?
so hang on. This is slightly breaking the rule because it goes further in the book series, but it is established that Aes Sedai need to use their hands because that's how they learn their weaves.
Yeah.
It's true that
I mean, they do show it in the show as well.
yeah, and it's
They're pretty handsy. That doesn't sound right.
Aes Sedai have their hands in
they
everything.
are pretty handsy.
Speaking of handsy, a little bit later with
A little bit later.
Yeah, no kidding.
creepy ass questioner boy.
I was gonna say, anything else we want to talk about on the White Cloaks?
Boo.
No, pretty much still boo.
They're
I mean,
Yep.
they're
yeah,
good to hate.
Yes.
It's really easy to hate them. Yeah.
They are a
That's-
solid antagonistic organization.
Okay. One thing that was beautiful that I love that they carried over from the book, Egwene and Moraine's scene.
I love that. I was gonna say that's like part for part.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like the
Yeah.
These
lines.
were the thing.
Gave it a little focus.
Yep.
I do miss that Moraine doesn't wear that, so it was really cute to see her give one to Egwene.
There is one thing that they changed, which is, weird little factoid nitpick. But they say that the 3 oaths were made to appease Arthur Hawkwing, specifically. Which is just a nice way to name drop Arthur Hawkwing. But, I caught
Just
that and I was
really
like, wait a second,
cementing my love of this portrayal of Moraine.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Rosamund
Every
Pike
time I
is
see her, I'm like,
incredible.
yes.
Yeah, she's doing a great job.
I was gonna say Rand is also doing a really good portrayal, and is being a little whiny bitch, and I just want to hit him.
He throws a
And so
tantrum.
they've done a great job.
Yeah.
The tantrum is so good.
And then
I'm
Matt.
not
Tantrum pretty good.
going with her. Why should we trust her? Well, saved your lives and everything. Healed your dad and
Kind of seems to know what's going on.
that scene is also the first time that I think we really see Matt's like sassiness and his side of
Matt.
things come out, because like he's like turns around and it's like, you might want to stay on their good side in case he starts lobbing fireballs.
but he's also like the peacemaker. He comes in, he says, "I agree with you. I agree, but like, what else are we gonna do here? Don't be an ass."
Stop being stupid.
Wow.
Uh,
I can't even remember that. Oh man, it's been
Yeah.
such a long time since I read those books. So
And
I
then
do remember Rand being kind of a little bit of like, dude, get your
Yeah.
act together.
Yeah.
Man.
A little
Yeah,
bit,
I
it's
was-
constant.
that's Rand. That is
Yeah.
I
defining in
wanted
his
to
character.
downplay it. I really wanted to downplay it, especially considering
Nope.
the fact that if he has that kind of character, like my thing is that if he has that sort of characterization, like right now, and this is only like episode 2 in, like this is going to extend far beyond just these 2 episodes.
Yeah.
So, assuming the narrative goes it's supposed to, it's really hard to build any sort of sympathy for this character, and I don't know how well the audience is going to react all to this later on. Like it's one of those things where like, yeah, okay, sure, your later arc stuff. But like this is a formative impression. Like there's gonna have to be some heavy duty narrative and character stuff going on for the audience opinion to go from what a little whiny to just like, oh okay, you're pretty cool. I support you as a protagonist and main focal character.
I think they do a good job of that actually in these first couple of episodes we're talking about. Like Rand definitely has his moments where he's randing it up. But he also has moments where he's like really cute and really endearing or like really hopeful.
Yeah.
I think they've balanced it out already.
He just has his temper tantrums.
If I wanted a man, I could do better. Which is just so funny. But we need to talk about the first dream.
Oh,
Yes. Oh.
So,
Oh, yeah.
so
I was
this-
worried.
So this is
The
where,
portrayal.
of course, this is where they're obviously coming in and replacing Baerlon. Baerlon is not going to be in the show, which is fair. How they did it is pretty good. But in Baerlon, he has the dreams about the rats. Rand has the dreams about the rats getting their backs broken, and instead we're in the woods and we have bats. So it rhymes. It's nice. Oh, but goodness, Baalzamon. It's hard to picture a person with caverns of fire in place of their eyes, but they made
No,
him
they
so
did it
great
good.
and
Yeah, they nailed
creepy.
it.
Pretty good job.
Every time I was like, I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it.
I want some talking though.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm excited for
I don't
the
know.
taunting.
It's every time that like the first time they pop him on screen, they always like every time I get shocked.
Yeah.
I was like, I should have saw that coming, but I didn't.
No, it's
Scary,
Just like
good.
scary as hell.
Yeah, no, the CG has been great. Like the Trolloc faces and Baalzamon's expressions and the fire, they look great. I don't what's this?
It is.
That's a faceless.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
The
yeah,
Murdraw,
those
The
are
dog.
they're all mouth.
lamprey mouth.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah,
So
their animation is really good.
Mhm.
Also, just throwing it out there. If your ferry is swirling in a giant vortex in the
Oh
river,
my god!
and there's literally monsters on the other side of the river,
And not
Who
a small
cares?
amount of them.
It
Yeah.
makes no sense. Your son is not going to run into the crowd of monsters
they
to
got
find
torches. There's like a huge mob. He'd be like, "Whoa, I don't know what happened there, but I guess I won't just." Are you gonna see me dead? Oh,
like-
he's a fairy master.
I get that emotions are running high, but like, yeah.
He'll be
come
like,
on.
"Oh, that sucks," and run into the woods.
you. Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna mourn, but
Ugh.
Maybe
Yeah.
Anything.
maybe he's very self-aware and he knew that his son was not the brightest bulb and was going to do it.
That his son
Yeah,
took
but-
after
and it-
him
and
because
it
again,
runs in
he
the
was just
family.
gonna ferry across again.
What
We'll
was
just
he
ferry
hoping
towards this
for?
giant horde. I'm sure they'll let me pass.
Yeah, no, that
Oh,
Oh
wasn't
yeah, and they totally won't just, kill me and take my ferry.
If the ferry hadn't been loosed and in a vortex, going across would be a terrible idea. He saw it like swirling around in like a cavernous vortex, and he's like, "Well, I better swim over and paddle it out."
Yeah.
What was the end goal? Like,
No.
oh, I've got on it. Ah, shit. I didn't think about the next step. This is a ferry, not a motorboat. Where are you going with that?
No. You have to realize.
Ah!
What do you? Because that's technically his ship, and he's gonna go down with his
Nope.
ship. Clearly, that was
Terrible.
the.
Okay.
He's an idiot.
We
There's the
gotta
cap.
we gotta move on because it's 23. We're at 8:23 and we haven't talked about Shatter Logoth or the Manetheren song.
I loved
I
that,
loved the
and I
song.
loved the backstory. It was so good.
Yes.
It gave me so many goosebumps.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
They went out of
Oh,
their way to be
so
like,
good.
no, we're giving you it all.
Yeah.
Here's everything that happened.
They gave like a solid 5 minutes of people singing a travel song and then Moiraine just unloading, giving the lore dump. And I really
Yep.
appreciated it.
To these kids who
Yeah.
were like, nah, it's just like a cool song we sing. And she was like, first of all, you shut your mouths. It's not
And I
a cool
like-
song.
I like that they were like that though, because that's very true Withers, where they're like, I don't know, just a song, way I was sung.
We
She's
just always did it that way.
I mean, I've said it a few times this last month, but the old blood runs strong is code for shallow gene pool.
Oh wow.
Oh no, I never thought of it that way. But you're right.
Oh dear.
Also probably code for these kids aren't right.
Anyway, let's move ahead and get to the most perfect reproduction of a scary place that has ever been done.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
Along with the White Cloaks, I loved how clean Shadow Logoth was walking
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
Just like the complete absence of everything.
Yep. It was a city without any part of a city.
I also like how they've sidelined Moiraine. They've taken her out with the Trolloc poison, which is Tam's story.
Yep.
But we've just transferred it to Moiraine so that we still get the understanding of what Trolloc, Thakandar blades do, and we don't get Moiraine's solution to Shadow Logoth or being chased. We get Lan, whose priority is not the Two Rivers folk.
Yeah.
And I mean, this is just an aside. How hot is Perrin carrying her on his horse riding in? I was just like, damn, dude.
Yep.
I'm afraid I can't echo that, but first of all, they're like, "Oh yeah, this wall." I was like, "That's a crazy huge wall."
Yeah, it was beautiful. And the story about how they put up their wall with no doors and no gates, and people knocked it down and there was no one there. Like, just
It
Yeah.
was.
great.
Oh.
I had a picture in my head of Shadow Logoth, and that knocked it out of my head. Where I was like, "No, that's what I should be picturing." I always pictured it much wider and more open. And they did say
Mhm.
there's lots of palatial estates, but the like oppressive nature of that city felt more like the darkest place that Trollocs fear to go.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, there's this dark place that, you know, completely encased by these walls. Once you go in, there's no coming out. Yeah.
Yep.
And Matt is pulled away by whispers. There is a shadow that hints as if More Death is doing it, but we don't get to see the character. And we see the dagger. And Jen, is this the sound?
The sound effects when he is pulling that dagger out, like the way they'll do like the metal noise, and then there'll be like a deeper noise kind of coming up, and then they'll just cut it off sharp. It was so creepy and perfect, and whoever the sound person is who like, oh, so good.
Speaking of entering Shadow Logoth, did anyone catch the Paid and Fane whistle?
No.
No.
What?
The whistle that he does in the first episode, I turned the volume up because I saw it on Reddit, and as they're entering, I believe you actually hear that same little whistle that he does, kind of in the background.
Interesting.
Time to watch it again.
And not because they're suggesting that he's there. They're just trying to draw that sort of thing together narratively, right? Is that probably it? Yeah.
Possibly, but I mean, like in the books, he's following them the entire time with the Trollocs. So
he is with. I didn't think he was with the Trollocs at that point.
Yeah, that's when he runs into them.
Yeah, because he, after the assaults on the Two Rivers originally, he meets up with the Trollocs and they force him to go with them, essentially.
Right.
And that's how
right. And that's how they're
Logoth.
tracking. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And then they split up. I remember that. He's got.
I just want to say, the Wookiee, totally, they've done a great job hiding little details in the show.
Second time through in episode 3, I caught something that I just loved. Was it episode 3?
Let's finish episode 2 real quick times.
Yeah, okay, Mashadar.
Perfect. It was super creepy and scary and infectious seeming.
Yeah. It was great. And the
horses,
the
creeping darkness
was
they had
so
going on.
sad. And,
it's just like, there's nothing you do. Your horse is dead.
I mean, it's in the book, it's a silvery mist that's floating along, but I really liked the running along the ground.
I loved it as like just a tainted place.
Yeah.
Well, it made it a
creeping
creeping
darkness.
thing.
Yeah.
That you felt like it wouldn't touch you and kill you. It would infect you and destroy you.
Their feet were too close to it way too many times. They were like backing up, like just send me.
Are we ready to jump?
Yeah. It's like you watched it dissolve a horse. Just leap. Like,
I'm like,
stand there going, oh, it's getting a little bit closer.
Really
It's scary. Just,
really strong, really effective way to separate the three groups of people.
Perfect.
It was great. Totally believable. The city is huge, so if you come out of the wall one way and they come out the other way, of course you're not going to find each other.
Yep.
I loved it. And
little bit upset that we didn't encounter the boat.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be nice to
big
find
character introduction.
Bail Doman. That's fair.
That upset me.
And I mean, on that same line, we didn't get to see the Tower of Genji.
Which is,
but
I don't know if they're gonna introduce him later.
Later.
I mean, there's lots of times when he can pop in, so I'm not super worried.
Yeah.
If they cut him out entirely, I'm gonna be pissed.
Yeah.
He's one of my favorite characters.
Oh, my aged grandmother. Okay. And then, episode 2 ends with the most exciting reveal yet.
Yes.
Nynaeve is alive.
Oh, yeah.
And has tracked Lan, and she's the best.
Yeah. She doesn't take no shit.
Nope.
Like I said, I was like, first of all, even if like book-wise, it was important that she be around. When a Trolloc shows up and her first thought is, I'll roar at you and then stab you a bunch, she's not getting taken away because one grabbed her and ran away.
Yeah.
That's not happening.
I love the look on Lan's face. He's like, seriously?
Yeah.
You tracked me? Yeah, I did. You suck.
Yeah. Okay. And then so we open up in episode 3, which title A Place of Safety. And we get to see Nynaeve's story of Trollocs being terrible to each other and her running and then killing and hiding and setting a predator trap. She was amazing.
Yep. Yeah.
That was awesome.
So, correct me if I'm wrong. Did that happen in the books? It doesn't seem like
it doesn't,
I mean,
but
she
it
tracks
absolutely could happen off screen, right? Because okay, no, it doesn't.
No.
It absolutely could not happen off screen. She
She's
is
totally
safe
fine.
in the village when the rest of them leave. But this works so much better. I love the direct push of Egwene and the 3 boys out of the village, with Nynaeve not there to stop
Argue.
them or join.
Yeah.
And then she still does the tracking afterwards to come and get them.
Yeah, I definitely did this when she showed up.
Yeah. But also, can we just talk about how sad it is that she got her pools all dirty after she worked so hard to
That's all I could
wash
think
those
about.
rocks?
I was like, she scrubbed those rocks, and then this son of a bitch just comes grossing it up.
Yep.
Bleeding all over the place.
And the Trolloc blood turns into the dragon's fang.
If I didn't know the book, if I didn't know the books from these first 4 episodes, I would be hands down sure Nynaeve was the dragon.
Yeah.
Hands down.
Mm-hmm.
Totally.
So is it like looking like more like it's a fake out sort of thing, or
It's
They've
that
done-
anybody can.
So, yeah,
They've
in
done something
general,
with every single character that you could be like, that they could be it.
yeah, they're splitting it between the 5 of them: Rand, Matt, Perrin, Egwene, and Nynaeve.
Yeah.
So they're kind of doing a lot of little misdirection all over the place with each of the characters.
Well, I mean, the truth is that all of them are powerful in their own right.
yeah, they're all Tavern.
yeah.
Yeah, well, and yeah, I've been team
blood runs strong.
Egwene as a Taviran for years. Like,
I mean, how could you not? Like, the fact that Moraine's always like, these 3 boys are the greatest, and I guess you are right over there.
yeah, but let's
Like,
not
that's
worry
fine,
about the
whatever.
things that Egwene and Nynaeve do in the books.
Yeah, that's cool. It's cool. It's cool.
They're
We're
fine.
just novices. It's fine. No, that's fine. That's cool.
No big
I think
deal.
it's probably a little bit better than just they're admitting on right. No, this is kind of like they're big
Yes.
deal too, because
It's not like they did nothing, you know?
Mhm.
They
Yeah.
did a lot of shit. While Rand was like, I'll just sit in a camp.
Can we
And
talk
be
about
grumpy.
how sweet and awesome Perrin is? Just being loving and
Aw.
supporting to Egwene as just like the best friend, being like,
He
could
is
you
the
please
best.
could you please channel us some food and water?
Yeah.
I know, every scene with him, he's just like my sweet soft boy, and that was so sweet
Yo.
of him to be like, did you start that or did I? But not to be like, holy fuck, you channeled! It again! It's
Like,
terrifying! He was just like,
That's handy.
made a joke.
And it's so he's like, well, like he doesn't treat her like she's suddenly different, you know?
Yeah.
You know, like it's just
I mean,
like,
that's parenthood.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's parent.
Absolutely.
That's always been
And that-
parent's strength.
I mean, he's was my favorite
Or
from
like
the books.
this.
So
You big boy.
He's big.
Yeah,
heart.
I remember
big heart.
when I was reading through the books, Parent was generally seen my favorite. Rand was not. Matt was like Matt had his moments. I didn't like the ones where he's being cool. Not gonna say anything, but there were other times where I'm like, dude, really, man.
Yeah.
We need to talk about episode 3.
We do.
We're in
Yeah,
episode 3.
yeah.
We're talking episode 3.
Yeah, we're
Nynaeve
there.
and Lan flirting.
Yep, love it. All for it. Huge fan. Love it, 1,000,000%. Kiss him on the mouth.
We both know.
I
We
cannot
both
get
know.
enough of that.
We both know that you're not going to hurt me. You
Yeah.
tried to kill me.
Julia!
Hold the phone.
That's a bad bluff to pull on Nynaeve, because
Yeah.
she will hurt you.
Mandragoran appreciates a woman. Appreciates a woman who will try and stab him.
Yeah,
Damn good thing he's such a good warder.
yeah.
I mean, that'd be hilarious if he got like a big scar on his face and looks like Metalwood, and then he has to explain to people like, yeah, I dared a lady to not stab to stab me, and she took that dare.
Yep.
Be well. I said she wouldn't. She may prove me wrong.
So we have our second dream here, and this one's focused on Perrin. But it's real twisted.
Yep.
Because, like, at this point, we have seen his connection with the wolves, but the wolf is eating Layla, and she's all corpseified. So what are we thinking
moving.
here? Yeah, like, is this
Probably
Baalzamon specifically, like, twisting
with him?
this? It's not the wolves protecting him yet?
No, I don't think it is.
he does show up in that dream.
Baalzamon shows up,
Yeah.
and he's extra
Yeah.
creepy in this one.
I think he's still in the doesn't have the security of
Yeah.
the wolves yet.
Hasn't been
Well, I
protected.
mean, he hasn't really accepted it or
That's the thing.
acknowledged it even.
Yeah, I feel
Right?
like they are. Baalzamon was like trying to ward him off of the wolves a little bit.
Oh,
Like, whoa,
yeah.
are
it makes-
wolves scary?
Wolves are
They're
dangerous.
scary,
Yeah,
they're
okay.
dangerous.
Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense. I like that.
Yeah.
The Dark One's being like, oh man, that wolf licked his boo-boo. Fuck.
Make us go to wolves.
Hope he doesn't get cool wolves or something. Make a wolf scary to him.
Yep. Yeah, just
Yeah, well, that works.
gotta be
Little
sure.
Dumbass.
I mean, wolves are one of the things that's really cool about them is that they're always the good guys.
Yeah,
You
that's
know?
true.
And that's like they're always standing against either Trollocs or Fades. They're like, yeah, we're gonna fight those. Yeah.
Bad guys suck.
And-
Although
Fight them.
not always
Wait a minute.
effectively, but they definitely try.
Yeah, they'll kill themselves trying.
Yep.
And be totally chill with it.
Yep.
Ah, the wolves
All
are
right.
so cool. Anyway,
So now we arrive in Breen Spring, which is the combination of Barrelon, Whitebridge, Four Kings. We're hitting a lot of stuff here, and we're finally introducing Tom
I
Maryland.
don't like it.
You don't? Oh, okay. But
I'm not
Okay.
a fan.
before we
He's
get
growing.
before we get into why you don't like it, let's just talk about his ballad.
I don't like it.
You didn't like the ballad?
I don't like his voice.
His voice was not at all what I was expecting. I was like, I don't know, man. That doesn't seem like, because I had pictured something
He
really
definitely-
emotionally moving, and it was kind of more grating.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he definitely feels like a grimdark version of Tom Maryland.
Kind of.
He's a cowboy version of Tom Maryland.
Yeah,
My problem
Yeah,
is
that's
that
exactly.
Tom Maryland stops crowds with his voice.
Yeah.
And this guy's like, yeah, I sing a little bit and I play a guitar because guitars are cool. Also, there's no way that Tom Maryland goes on stage with an untuned instrument that he has to tune. No way.
I mean,
It
it's
does not happen.
it's also
He would for
a
drama.
Ooh,
He
okay.
also wouldn't play a guitar.
Going back to the dream sequence real quick, Zawookie says, did anyone else notice the window in Perrin's dream
No.
sequence? Oh, I didn't either. So, Zawookie, let us know what we missed, and we'll go back to that. But Tom, yeah, is
That's what, yeah, he's
Not
growing
what
on
I
me. He
pictured.
definitely has like that hard rock, like
swagger.
the bands our dad listened to look and sound.
I think episode
Kinda, yeah.
3, it's hard, but episode 4 really makes him feel more like Tom to me.
Episode 4 is better. Episode 3,
Yeah.
I do not like him.
Well, I really liked the very end of episode 3 with him saving Matt and Rand.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That whole bit
and his
was-
respect to the Aielman.
Yes.
I like that.
yes.
Yeah.
And also understanding Matt.
Ooh, that was very, very cool. Oh, also, okay, so we're going back with Zawookie. Perrin's dream scene. As he gets out of bed, there's the flash of Baalzamon through the window. just
I remember that now.
just that feeling of horror, which is really, really done well.
I'm wondering if they're gonna like try and start the Balsamon dreams with little with little hints like that. That it is a Balsamon dream, because I feel like
and not a
later on they're
flashback.
definitely gonna have to differentiate that with Perrin's later abilities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, yeah. Going back once again to Tom's introduction, things are just a little bit different and a little bit off, and he leaves. But then when he comes back, he's very jovial and a little bit more what you're expecting, but still not quite right. I do like the Aiel burial scene though.
Yeah,
I don't think,
he's,
and I liked the little figurine hint to the stone dogs.
I didn't see that.
I
Did
didn't
anyone
catch it.
notice he takes a little rock figurine out of his pouch, and it's a little stone dog.
Oh,
Oh, I remembered that, but I didn't remember the significance.
dang.
Yeah.
Gonna have to rewatch these episodes again. Oh no.
Again, like a fifth, sixth time.
Darn it.
All those little details.
Okay, this
Um,
is the first time that I caught them using, like, I finally heard a Wheel of Time swear when they say bloody expensive. Like this lesson was bloody expensive, because they've been saying shit and hell and stuff like that. They haven't been saying bloody or flaming or blood and ashes, mother's milk in a cup, bloody buttered onions.
Things that Meric and I yell at each other all the time.
But it seems like they're gonna start adding them in.
Yes, for sure.
I mean, it is kind of like a feel thing, right? If they would have their own sort of a like language and colloquialism and stuff like that. So it does feel like a more liberal, and especially since the book was kind of had a bunch of that too. To not have that would make it feel off.
Weird.
Yeah.
Okay. The out of left field, Dark Friend.
Oh, it was so
So
good.
good.
I
Give me like a
love her.
brick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's
I
like,
was,
nah, you don't. No, we're not. You're not going.
I shouldn't
And
have.
he's like,
Was
what?
it the braid?
I shouldn't have braided
Yeah.
the hair.
And he's like, what? I know, he's typical Rand, like, huh?
like
hell's
he
going on
realized at
here?
the same moment that I realized. I think we were wearing the exact same facial expression.
It's a good contrast to Matt or to Rand later though, because here he's still trusting and he's naive.
Yeah,
And
he's been
And-
jaded.
It's a good, like, they haven't really talked about Dark Friends up to this
Yeah.
point. And so it was a really good and really quick explanation of, like, what Dark Friends are. They've gotten this vision. You need to watch out for them, and they could be anyone. Like, they did that very well and very compact.
I loved how she broke down exactly why she was supporting the Dark One.
yes,
Like, it
that's
wasn't just like, I am here to do evil. It's like, no, I don't believe in this wheel. I think we should have our free choice. And that's why I want the Dark One to break the wheel. It's like, cool.
That's-
That's a valid reason.
that.
It's not gonna work, but
Yeah.
it,
I think you're wrong, but that's a valid reason.
he's not a super cool guy who's gonna let you just be chill and ride motorcycles.
that is. There was never an explanation as good as that for being a dark friend in the books.
Yeah. Oh, totally.
Every
And
dark friend in the
so,
books.
And like she's so nice and like helps them out, and then everything's great, and that sudden turn, and I'm like, oh boy.
Well, that was
But-
a real combination of two events.
Yeah.
Of when Rand first channels in the books, and when they get attacked in the stables.
Yeah. Those two
And
dark
it-
friends.
I love that introduction that Rand is maybe not a normal guy,
Yeah.
because it's kind of subtle,
Mhm.
you know,
Iron
in
Man.
that
The look on her face, though.
Oh.
so she's like, wait a second,
Whoops.
wait, oh no.
But they do a great job in the show, because Rand like tries to just kind of forget that. We get the saving, we go into episode 4, and if you haven't read the books, Matt is getting darker and stranger, and then Tom comes in with this real slick explanation, and Rand buys it, and the audience is like, this must make sense, but also wait, what about episode 3? And it's so good.
Well, I get the impression that Rand, like, didn't even notice. He's just like, I just broke that door down.
Yeah.
I was just
like
really scared,
adrenaline.
shot of adrenaline, broke that door down.
And
Yeah, and
I'm a strong lad. Like I'm a farmer and do all my chores. Like
You know?
Well, and of all the things they've showed us of all the Tavirans so far, I like forgot that Rand did that. Like, they are really leading everyone off his trail.
Yeah.
He'd be my last thought.
It's a
Hands
He's just
down.
kind of that annoying guy he's got a sword.
It's a lot less obvious than him calling down a bolt of lightning to get
Just
him
float open
and
up
Matt
to a wall.
out of the locked room.
Yeah, for sure.
But
So then Tom knifes a lady.
yes, Tom knifes her, and they leave Breen Spring. I was really annoyed with Rand that the sword was out of his hands. Like,
I
she's
was very
chasing-
upset.
Yeah.
That's your sword. Get it back. But
Excuse me,
Hit her with
sir.
something.
Excuse me. That's an important sword, sir.
So Rand lost
That's
his
your
sword.
father's sword, young man.
he was
you need that for future events. You better hold on to it, okay?
he was flirting with the owner of the bar, who was the dark friend, and she went up to the door and bolted it and took his sword. And that's where this is all coming from.
And she was holding it on him and chasing him.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I also panicked.
And then another
And I was like,
another killer ending to an episode when we get to see Logain.
oh. And then the beginning
Yes.
of episode 4.
Let's go back just a moment to episode 3. We also see Egwene and Perrin hook up with the Tinkers,
Oh my god,
Right.
we haven't talked about the Tinkers.
They're great.
who are great.
Did they get
First of all-
we don't see a whole lot of them in episode
Just
3.
sort of
Yeah, we didn't see
glossing
much in
over
episode 3.
of Perrin and Egwene in the shittiest place ever. The Caroline Plains is so awful. And it's like cold, and they're like, it's really like that
And I
permanent
think
winter
the
that won't.
werewolves are after them.
Yeah, and it's so
good, and they're
shitty.
just
And they're
hunting.
like,
why
I
are
guess
they
we'll
still
go."
following us?
Yeah, and then they meet the Tinkers.
Who come
Do they
out
meet Aram
like-
in that one,
Yeah.
or is that
Yeah.
4?
Aram comes out and says he gives them the response.
Right.
Your welcome warms my spirit as your fires warm the flesh, but I do not know
He
the
was
song.
way too. Like, I liked him too much. I think that's my problem.
Yes, he's
He's
perfect, and
likable.
it breaks my heart.
No, because when I first met him, I was like, "Fuck that guy."
No, but when you first meet him, you meet him in Perrin's point of view.
Yes, that's the point.
We're
is that
above-
he's like, "No, Egwene and Rand are gonna marry and have babies. So who's this dickhole?" And so I'm like, "Yeah, Perrin, fuck this guy. I'm with you, buddy. Go punch him. Punch him in his dumb face. Oh, they're just gonna dance.
Yeah, but Egwene likes him,
Yeah,
so we get a nice middle
But-
road.
yeah, but like, he shows up and I was like, "Fuck, this guy's likable. He's got pretty eyes. Damn it. Hate him. I love it."
Yep.
But I mean, spot on for Tinkers.
Yeah, the Tinkers
Yeah.
look great. They kept all of the lore and everything for the Tinkers. They called them Tuatha An. The only thing
Yep.
that they changed was that the Two Rivers folk didn't know them. Because in the books, Egwene was
Everyone
really... Egwene was like, oh, they're as bad as Terran fairy folk. They're going to steal our stuff.
Steal our babies.
But, okay.
But yeah, great.
We can move
Pretty
on to
wagons,
episode 4
weird-ass
now.
clothing.
I just wanted to
Let's
make sure
go
we
to
touched that.
episode 4, The Dragon Reborn.
And what an opening.
What a fucking
Holy
opening.
crap.
Here's Gildan. Here's a fight. Here's some channeling.
So it was like 2 minutes in, and I was like, "Yeah, this guy's a Dragon Reborn. I would follow this guy."
Well, I was wondering
Totally,
how they
totally
were going to do
him,
the Madness Whispers, and I actually
Oh, it was so
really
good.
loved
Oh.
those manifestations.
It was
like,
so
I
good.
love
Amazing.
male channeling,
Yeah.
where he channels and it comes out normal like you've seen before, and then
Yeah.
this darkness seeps in along it,
Yes.
Yeah.
and
It
it
was
still
cool.
does what he's intending to do, but you're like, oh wait,
Something's not quite right
Something's
there.
not
Not
good.
sure about
It
that.
was
Not sure
different
about that
than when
one.
everybody
Little
else
bit.
has done that.
A little bit of a problem.
And he's like, no, it's fine.
Yeah, go,
the
Jen.
other thing I really, really liked is they immediately kind of built Logain's like character versus maybe some other false dragons we're going to meet in the future, where the voices were telling him to kill the king of Gildan, and he makes the choice and has the speech about binding the world. That's like, that's amazing way to differentiate him from just
A guy.
some like mad power hungry guy. Like, he's amazing.
Oh, love
Yeah,
it.
he like gives the whole like recruits the king, and you're like, okay, well, I could see how this happens.
I love seeing the king later,
Oh, it was so good.
where he's just like,
We must save
kill
the
time for this
dragon.
guy. And that wasn't magic. That was sheer
Yeah.
force of personality, which
That's
Logain
just
had.
charisma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing about him. You just want to support the guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Logain's great. I mean, in the books, he's honestly just a solid character.
And I love that they specifically mentioned his flowing locks in the book so many times, and he's just got
his
gorgeous
long,
hair,
curly, yeah.
and he's handsome. And I just saw him when he was like, "No, just be friends with me," and he was like, "Yeah, I mean, yeah, totally." I was like, yeah,
I'm your best friend now.
I'm with you. I don't know what do you want to do? You want to fight some people or something? Let's go.
Yep.
Oh, you want to take over the world? I mean, I guess that sounds reasonable.
Yeah, let's do it.
I mean,
let's,
you
let's
have
take over the
to.
world. We're gonna swear to the dragon. Okay, Aes Sedai camp. We get to spend some time with Kareen, Alana, Leandrin, and the frickin' warders.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love the warders so
I have
much.
one huge issue.
Huge issue.
Those axes are dumb.
I
Those are horrible.
Glasses.
You're a monster,
They're
Patrick.
so short, and the tooth on them is too long.
No, you're wrong. They're beautiful.
I'm not. I'm not wrong.
Fantasy world. Your opinion doesn't matter.
To a certain extent, I think if they're trying to go for a feel like, yes, we're like serious military men and soldiers, we kill people, all those, you've got to have weapons that look.
No,
Like,
they're
I
beautiful.
don't know
If
if,
their
that's what
show-
warders are.
They're not show. No. They. And sorry, what were you saying there, Nicole?
I don't get the impression that the warders, or at least this iteration of the warders, are like serious military men. Like,
No, my problem is that warders are efficiency. And this is just my natural attenuation to effective weapons and not flashy weapons. But that, like, he keeps holding them underneath the blade. You're gonna hurt yourself.
But
It's
Lan,
double bladed
well,
for no reason.
Lan is the warder.
Spoilers.
Lan is the warder who is about efficiency. The other warders are all shown to be incredibly individualistic, and
well, they're different.
Yeah.
They're bound to different Aes Sedai and
I
different.
I do
that's
like.
kind of the cool thing about them.
I like the character. Steppen was
Steppen
awesome.
is great.
I loved everything about him. I was just like, I feel like I'm like, why don't you have a sword like Lan? It's so cool.
I also liked, and I said this, Meric, that they just kind of established, like, because in the books they talk about the warder forms a lot and all the different fighting forms and all the different, I don't know what they call them, like sequences they'll practice.
Mhm.
And it was a nice introduction to that, just showing that they did a sequence together.
Yeah. They're doing their stuff. So yeah, and seeing the warder banter is super fun. And just like Steppen having this comfortable relationship with his Aes Sedai that's different than Lan's with Moiraine. But I really want to talk about Leandrin coming and trying to like wheedle her way in with Nynaeve.
Fucking hate Leandrin.
Yeah.
And for the first probably decade of me reading these books, I pronounced it Nynaeve. Which is,
I mean, I've always pronounced it Nynaeve.
which is great. If she comes in, she's like, "Is your name Nynaeve?" I can't place the accent.
Because you never heard me speak. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
Get the fuck out, Leandrin. She is not putting up with your
I love how at the
dumbassery.
end of it, she like leaves and she's just like, that woman is a snake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because nothing gets past Nynaeve. It's great.
No, she's like, I'm like, oh, you're not. Like, for the moment, I was like, oh my goodness, is she gonna like corrupt her in some way, or tell her all kinds of things that'll make her turn away from Moraine? I mean, she doesn't like Moraine to begin with, but like,
She doesn't like Aes Sedai.
but she's just like, nope, called it. That's definitely not a good lady.
Also, just to cut back, I love that they gave her reason not to like Aes Sedai. Because she was always just kind of like, I don't like that you're stealing my kids.
Yeah.
I mean,
And then like Aes Sedai are untrustworthy.
fair.
But now she's like, I mean, sure, but it's important that they not be there because of
Yeah.
how they're being hunted. It's a reason. Everyone else was like, yeah, you should probably get out of here. I'm your
Yeah.
parents, and we should get. And she's like, no, you can't steal my kids. You're taking the kids. And she's like, yeah, because they're fucking important. I don't get what you're not getting about that. She's like, they're but two rivers.
God, there's so much in episode
And that part
4.
always grentled me about Nynaeve. But I like that she's like, no, fuck you guys. You guys are assholes.
which also
Which
fair.
they are.
Yep.
They are. Yeah, we get this
So,
lovely set of scenes with all of the Aes Sedai in their camp. We get to learn a bit more of them. I don't understand why they're camped for so long. Like, why aren't they moving towards the White Tower? But
Why do they have like
Exactly.
pavilions?
Because they're rich.
yeah. Jen?
But like, you're obviously you're traveling for important reasons.
just to say before we leave the camp, also, I just gotta say, I love Warder on Warder love. I just love that, and
Yes.
they were so cuddly and sweet, and I just
Mhm.
love this world where no one's like thrown by that.
As a
Yeah.
Which is-
polyamorous person myself, I am loving the whole green water situation.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
fantastic.
that was a lot of supporters.
little
And that's-
triad is awesome.
Yeah.
That's another thing that's really cool about the Aes Sedai Warder relationship is they're all so different.
Yeah.
Like, between Lan and Moraine, there's no romance there. I mean, they love each other in a very non-romantic way, for sure. There's that closeness,
Which
but
again they hint at in this episode.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yep.
oh my gosh, I love that. I shouldn't have drunk. You always get
Let's get
emotional.
Get
emotional
when I
emotional
drink.
when I drink.
They do. They show it really good, like that, like non-romantic, like love and partnership,
Mhm.
just by the fact that their shoulders were so close when they were sitting on the bed.
And they
Like they were
touch
clearly
hands.
comfortable in each other's
Yeah.
space. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it was lovely.
And then we have these other,
Alana.
like, the green relationship where it's clearly also a very romantic and sexual relationship.
The hottest three who are gonna go bang, and I was like,
I mean,
yeah.
why not?
First of all, to cut back to books, I don't know why, but I always had a grudge against Alana. Always.
Well,
I was always like, I don't like this lady for reasons that I will not disclose right now, because it is huge spoiler times.
yeah.
Show Alana, I love, and I will die for her.
Yeah, no, she's
Yeah,
fantastic.
well, I really loved her before spoilers reason, and then I really hated her after spoilers reason. So, yeah, I'm really
Yeah.
interested to see what's going to happen
I can't wait.
with that.
Cannot wait.
Oh, I'm in love with her right now, and I hated her. So I'm
Yeah.
into
Jen and I
this.
both flipped, I think.
Yeah. Okay. Moving along. We're already at 9:00, but we got a bunch
cares?
to go
This show
through.
is all about us talking about the
I
show
mean,
now.
we're doing extra stuff because we're doing 3 episodes, and it's a lot.
Yeah. It's a lot.
We get this beautiful, just like the Manetherin thing, we get this beautiful long scene to discuss the Way of the Leaf, with a
Yeah.
second part afterwards to explain the personal Way of the Leaf stuff for Isla. Like,
What a heartbreaking scene.
yeah, just really, really wonderful and so true to the books. And then, yeah, the scene afterward at nighttime, very heartbreaking.
Oh. That causes me feelings.
But
My only gripe with this whole thing is Perrin's arc is that he's being talked to a lot, but he's not doing a lot of talking. He's holding all of his stuff in still, and like,
I mean, I never
It
really
gets
got
better,
the impression, like, because I've I've only read the first 3 books, but Perrin doesn't really seem like much of a talker.
And he's
no,
not.
No, he's not. But like, what I'm saying is, for like a TV show, I would have liked a little more personal character development from him. Just like actually hearing his thoughts somehow, rather than just having people explain things to him and him going,
Yeah, there was definitely a lot of that.
I mean, unfortunately, that is Perrin, though. So much of him is like he's just his solid self, and then someone comes along and is like, "Why is this happening?" And he's like, "Oh shit." Why is that
it's
happening?
a lot of Perrin is that internal exposition.
Oh, absolutely.
And they always go out of their way to explain him as someone who takes time to think about things before he acts or says anything.
Before he acts.
Yeah, for sure.
He's never like just a quick on the draw. I've got stuff to talk about. He listens when people talk, and he absorbs what they say, and then builds something, and then comes back later. And he does sort of ramp up as book 4, I think, is where he really sort of takes his flight, and comes into his own.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, in the context of a television show, it's
doesn't translate
for
over.
me, I'm like, okay, if I didn't know anything about the books and I was watching this for the first time, I know nothing about Perrin yet. I'm like, okay, he killed his wife and he's angry and sad about it, and that's as far as I've got in 4 episodes. And so with the other characters, there's been some other development, some other things happening with them.
Yeah.
But Perrin himself has just been kind of like moping and hearing a lot of stories about why he shouldn't be moping so hard.
A bunch of wolves ran up
and licked
saw
his
him,
leg.
and then they ran away. So,
I mean,
I think the scene where the wolf came up and licked his leg was like the most amount of character development that I saw from him, and he didn't even need to speak in that moment. There was just that whole interaction with the wolf. I just loved that, everything about it.
And I think the actor's doing a really good job of portraying every time he takes in information. Because
Totally.
that's who Perrin is. He's taking it in.
Yeah.
He's a sponge.
Taking it in.
Mm-hmm.
Taking it in.
Big old
And
hard sponge.
eventually, I think we'll see where he takes that. I don't know.
Okay.
I feel like he's a slow burn character
He's
development.
very much.
And as I said, things happen.
Yep.
And I'm not going to say any more because we're not covering that episode yet. But just up until this point.
Yeah. No. Shh. Tim, go ahead.
I imagine with how things are developing, and because of it's sort of like developing sort of like his own internal foundation sort of thing, like just sort of that resolve and all that sort of stuff. Because later on,
Okay.
solid man.
So
Solid
let's go to the Grinwell farm.
Let's not.
Big things. One, they made Elsa.
No, they did not. The daughter is specifically credited as Helga.
She says her name though.
Helga, not Elsa.
I swear to God, she said Elsa.
No.
It's I double checked it in IMDb. The boy is just Grinwell's son. The daughter is Helga, and their teenage daughter Elsa is never mentioned or cast. So it's definitely possible that Elsa Grinwell did in fact head on to the White Tower.
But she named her dog Vegeta, which was really great.
That was the thing that I missed the first time through. I totally did not catch that the doll was named Brigitte.
Yeah, I loved that. I was like,
And she loves adventure.
Yep. So good. All those little details just snuck in very carefully.
yeah. And this is where Tom starts having the conversation with Rand about Matt being a channeler.
Yeah.
What I love
it's,
is that Tom's not like, we got to get out of here because he's nuts. He's like, we got to keep him safe.
Yeah, we got to keep him safe from those women. We've got to do this. And you get the entire Owen story up front, which is really nice. Which is also why they changed one of Alana's warders' names. Because it was Ivan and Owain So I'm guessing they didn't want an Owain and an Owen.
Yeah.
So now we have Maxim.
Complicated.
But anyways, yeah, we get all of that, and you're suddenly like, oh, maybe that's why Matt has been snapping at everybody and is being sick and stuff.
But the thing, they do hint a little bit about the creeping darkness when Helga comes out to give the bread.
Yeah,
he's coughing and spitting out that blackness.
Then it
And
shoots
so-
back into his mouth.
Yeah, I know. It's so
It's so creepy. It's so creepy. But I think like I'm wondering if there's a lot of people who didn't really notice that or didn't take that a lot into account, because that is such a huge indicator that something else is going on with Matt, that it's not channel.
I love it. I do wish that I could experience this without my knowledge of the books. Like, that would be really cool. So I do enjoy that for people who are not already fans.
Sort of.
Yeah.
We're sort of tainted by the knowledge, unfortunately, of like, well, this is this, and blah, 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 you know.
And then before we get to the, defining scene of the Grinwell farm, we do have another dream with Perrin hammering on Layla's corpse.
That was weird.
That was weird.
That was weird.
Super weird.
I was curious as to why, because that was a Matt dream. Like, that was definitely Matt's dream.
No, it's a Rand dream, because we're following. Yeah, we're following Rand, and he sees Perrin, and then he sees.
You're right.
Yeah, and then he sees Matt with the red hand, with the bloody hand, and then we see Egwene get grabbed by Balsamon.
Right. Sorry.
But yeah, so I mean, like, it's just as odd as the wolf eating Layla.
Yeah. It's weird.
Yeah, I'm very
Right,
curious
it's
about
just-
it, and I'm wondering.
Really wanted to make a character to hate.
Yeah. I'm kind of curious if like he's just trying to just sow disturbing thoughts into Rand's head. Like, it's not
I mean,
anything, like the imagery might not be anything specific. It might just be, I am trying to
Isn't it
change
weird?
your mind. And
Yeah.
yeah,
It's
mess
interesting
with you.
because it could be dreaming. We have seen a little bit that Rand gets some prophetic dreams, obviously not as much as other people, but it could be something that I'm not a super fan of, but Perrin forging his pain into something else. It's still him hammering on his dead wife with a hammer.
I don't know. I think it's all bad guy doing bad guy
Could
stuff.
be bad guy doing bad guy stuff.
Yeah,
It's
Yeah,
about
I mean, like, it's all about how can I, manipulate. Like, and one of the best ways that evil people try to manipulate people is that, like, I'm going to scare you and then offer you a solution, which is me.
Yeah.
So I
Which
kind of
is-
feel like that's what he's setting up.
Could be.
which is very, very Beelzemon. So
Yeah.
I'm excited to actually, and yeah, I'm excited to see if when he shows up, because that's the one thing that I'm missing is the taunting. Like,
Yeah.
there was that element throughout the first book of Beelzemon, just like he's taunting them
Join
in
me.
images, but yeah, he had that like you know Vader.
Building up to that.
You
I
could be my
definitely-
son, kind of a thing.
Yes.
I love in the books. What I loved was that he was never certain, so he treated them all the same,
He did. Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I always loved
regardless of who they were.
I always loved that Matt picked up the one of himself and suddenly it became a perfect representation of him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you're that one.
Okay. On to the thing. They wake up and Matt is gone. They search for
Very
him.
dark lead to, and then a
Goodness.
shift.
Goodness. So Matt is standing there and over dead bodies and there's blood everywhere, and we've bought in that he might be going mad from channeling. At least Rand and Tom have. And we know that it's probably something else, but Matt's just there. I see.
And he looks
you.
so crazy.
He looks
like he's
so.
so.
Oh. And it
So
really,
good.
and it narrowed it on the knife, and you're like, oh yeah, the knife!
And
But it's
then,
I thought it,
So good.
But it is
And
clean.
That's the thing.
There's no
Matt
blood.
There's no blood on him at all.
Yeah.
and then
No.
the Murdral comes out of the shadows, and it's
One of my
like,
favorite
His sword
What
is covered in blood.
Oh yeah.
one of
Well,
my
I
favorite
mean,
things is it's up top, and then so Tom throws a knife, and then it's just he looks down to the side where there's more shadows, and it steps out of those shadows.
exactly.
Without,
Yeah.
It did
without-
it.
Oh, they're so fast.
I was like,
I was thinking though, for someone who hasn't read the books, they might just think there were two.
Mm.
yeah.
Yeah, I almost thought there were two, and then I was like, oh no, it's the same one. It just, oh my god.
It turned
Yeah.
sideways and traveled from shadow to shadow.
Shadow walk,
Yeah. No, they're just.
This is so good.
and that's that's Whitebridge, right?
And then no, that is yeah, that's Whitebridge. Whitebridge is where they lose Tom.
Yeah, where they walk out.
And so Tom, like, he's known these boys for all of a couple of days.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he goes toe to toe with a lurk. And he's doing great. And the boys run and get on their horses and go after a very horrible realization
Yep.
that Helga has also been killed. But
What I loved was the sort of character aspect of Tom, that he's just pulling daggers.
yeah,
He's just like,
More
he's like
daggers.
fling, fling,
Where are
more,
you keeping
fling,
those
fling,
things,
fling.
buddy?
I got more.
I really honestly want to have a scene with him at some point where he has to disarm and just him just like pull out
Dagger,
40
dagger, dagger.
daggers.
So just good. Like, they packed in Tom's story into just barely 2 episodes really well. I mean, sad that we don't get him from the beginning in the 2 rivers, but they were able to, I think, pull it off.
I think they got back to where Tom needs to be fast.
Yeah.
They went from like this, like, I steal from you and you gotta learn the ways of the world, kid, you suck, to like, I guess I just met you, but I'll die fighting a creature of myth.
Yep.
Only
you have to get away.
complaint is he didn't meet Moraine.
That is the
true.
one sad thing. He did not get to meet Moraine.
3 books, Jen.
Uh,
Okay, so there's an end to episode 4.
Yes.
Oh, no. Goodness. Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
What an end.
Okay.
What a scene.
Like, it feels like
Amazing.
the episode should end when Rand and Matt leave. But
Yeah,
no.
That's
But
a
then-
very good cliffhanger.
We go back,
But
we get
then-
this nice low energy scene of like Lan and Nynaeve connecting. Like,
Super
he's
flirty.
praying, they're flirting.
She speaks
says,
the old tongue.
"Oh my goodness, do you want to know what it means?"
She gets a little
good.
sad. She gets emotional. She breaks the
Jen-
naive character.
And then he is going to tell us his real deep feelings about her, what he saw in her. And then there's a battle too?
Yeah, there's just Jen yelling at the screen and kiss!
Well, you weren't the only one. So,
No, yeah.
and then they show, why the green is referred to as the
the
battle,
battle?
Aja.
Yep. Yeah.
Boom!
So good.
Boom!
And the
Really
earth
awesome.
magic is so good.
Also,
Yeah, I love
Alana-
just all the different displays of magic in that whole scene. Like,
Alana capturing all the arrows and then holding them, and
Yeah,
then the guys
and
run
then
in and she's like,
Amazing.
and
I
was like, that was really smart.
also Nynaeve gets to create a signature move. The same one she used on the Trolloc, she uses on a Dragonsworn. Shank, shank,
And
shank.
goes
Shank,
the
shank.
rapid shank.
Rapid shank.
I mean, she's
Signature
The Neve's good time.
And Lan stands in front of her when the arrows are cutting.
Oh,
Yeah.
like
One
instantly,
part,
no hesitation.
He protects
Pushes
it.
her to the side.
Running
Stand. Oh,
He's holding her
yeah.
hand, and I'm like, live for just them. I just live for them.
and
yeah, everyone does.
That's
You
fair.
can't not.
Logain takes this time to knock the sisters out. Moiraine gets to come in. Yeah.
And have a chat with him.
we skipped over something very important.
Okay.
Where Logain is being shielded, and the sisters are holding him, and Moraine specifically mentions that she can't see men channeling.
Yep, good.
So
we have
the
established
weaves
it.
that we're seeing are their perspective of what they can see because they can see each other's weaves.
Yeah, so we get to
It's
see
not
what they are.
visible to
It's not visible to
everyone.
everybody.
It's just Aes Sedai / male channelers seeing their own weaves.
Yep. Very good.
Which was a big, like...
It was a question
not-
mark. We weren't sure.
It's not a, is everyone, like, just throwing around weird wispy things and everyone can see them? No.
Yeah, the flows are invisible. It is only to
Yep.
other channelers of your same gender.
Yep.
But, okay. So, yeah.
Then shield breaks
Shield
and
breaks.
kills someone.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun.
Our
Oh,
first
we-
major death.
We barely
Corinne.
talked
was a-
about Corinne.
Yeah.
I loved her.
Yeah. And
I was
she
very upset.
canonically was the captain general of the Green Aja, but died previous to the beginning of the books. So they've changed her death and brought her forward so that we'd get to meet her and meet a really cool Aes Sedai.
And see the issues of the Warder Bond.
Yes, they seed that in. They also really give us like sort of the ground level inter-Aja politics with Leandrin going
bit,
around and
God, they really stick to their colors in
Yeah.
terms of dress and tents. Like, not a
I
speck
don't-
of anything else.
I don't love.
I understand that it's visually to differentiate
Mhm.
that these women are from different societies in amongst their own society, that
Yeah.
they need to specifically, and they usually do dress within their own.
they just they do. A lot of them do.
They favor it, but they're like, I'm head to toe in green, in like different parts of my outfit are green, and the Red Sisters look like, I know I don't like them just naturally because they're not the greatest of people, but they just look way more like evil and scary than
Yeah.
the other sisters.
And
They've
I mean,
definitely got the most intimidating color.
when you're in a world where White Cloaks will burn you at a stake and cut your hands off, why are you color coding yourselves?
Right? That's an awful lot of green you're wearing there, lady.
Well, I'm kind of wondering if the Children of Light's rise to power is like recent history in this world, because it still kind of seems like
so.
the Aes
Maybe
Sedai are figuring out how to deal with them, because like
Yeah.
they're obviously
the
getting
usual.
captured by the children and executed, so they must have some sort of method of like, we don't quite know yet what they're
Yeah.
doing to
Yeah,
capture
'cause-
these Aes Sedai.
It's kind of strange because, from what I remember, the Aes Sedai were still pretty influential, powerful. That's not something they should should just be able to do without consequence. Like it shouldn't.
Yeah,
Like
Well,
this-
and the specific look at that he has done it multiple times.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's
He's got
carrying
multiple
trophies.
rings.
so
Yeah.
like that.
I was gonna say, he's just got a belt and multiple rings. That's all.
It's very weird to me.
I
So
felt it was weird.
Moiraine's speech to Logain, he tells her that he hears the previous dragons, and she says, the Dragon Reborn will be a bonfire to your candle sort of thing.
Yeah, you're
She's not
pinpoint.
putting up with his shit at all.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
so good.
Raging sun.
A raging sun.
Yeah. Love it. And
Oh
then,
no! What? Steppen is upset. He's double axe chopped at the shield. I'm a little upset that the shield is physical.
yes.
Yes.
But
Yeah, that
I
didn't make
understood.
sense to me either.
I rewatched it here, and it is so that Logain can corrupt his axes to affect everyone, causing a necessity.
Mhm.
yeah, and
Which
it's
is-
pretty. It's very, very pretty.
It's very visually striking,
Yeah.
and it's very much the
Also,
so the
I
light of
love-
the shield, and then as soon as his axe touches, the dark of male channeling touches them.
as we've established, Steppen would not see the shield.
So
He's
he
just
just
going in
went
to
for
kill
a
him.
guy sitting there.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I really love the whole like visual and slow burn as you watch the axes start to crack and everything, and you're just like, oh no, oh no,
Oh my goodness,
No.
so
Specifically-
much blood.
What I loved was the look on Loghain's face when he jumps for him, and he's like, "You gave me something, bud. Sorry."
Yep.
There's that like, I gotta use it, man.
Thanks, dude.
And then Lan, oh no,
He's dying. He's
Lan's dying.
Everybody
what will
is
someone
dying.
do?
Oh my god, the arterial spray.
Yeah.
Jeez, when she's like
God.
getting down, it's like, what? I was like, oh, come on.
And
As a person who has seen arterial spray, yes, yeah, it's like that.
It
Not from a neck or a
Leave.
human. Don't
Yeah.
worry.
okay. And then the moment
That's
we've
better or worse.
all been excited to talk about, the one thing was so visually amazing with the braids flying up in the light. Nynaeve creates a weave on the fly for mass heal.
Yep. Everyone's dying, and I won't fucking allow it.
The
You
first
don't get
yeah.
to die because I say you don't.
You die when
Nynaeve.
I say you can die.
she
Just
heals
never.
everybody, and then in the silence afterward, as everybody is stunned, Jen pointed out this amazing visual thing that they do when Leandrin says, "Link with me, sisters." Jen, you want to talk about how cool that was? No? Okay. The linking, it specifically shows the leader having an active position and all of the other women linking in a submissive position. They have their hands down, and the
Yeah.
channeling comes out of their chest and through their hands towards Leandrin. Because when
Doesn't
you
it move
link,
through everyone though?
it does. But when
It's
you
like a flow. It shows that they're in a circle.
yeah, but when you link, you have to surrender control to the one who's leading, and they did it so perfectly with a visual cue.
Yep. I was upset with it the first time because I was like, that's a strange, like, just known indication that you guys are linking. But then I watched it a second time and I was like, nope, I love it. I really like it.
And Loghain, oh, the pain in his face. Okay, we've heard about gentling a couple of times from different people. Like the Aes Sedai are talking about it. Tom is talking about it. We get his story from Owen, and
Ooh.
and then
I think
he's
that they timed that really well, having
they did.
the story of the gentling earlier in the episode and then bringing
Yep.
it
It happening.
full
And just-
circle into the end.
And just seeing
Also-
him break as it's
Don't,
pulling out of him.
You know, don't let Leandrin lead your circle. Just, I mean, straight up, don't do that.
Yeah,
It's just
she's
premise.
she's definitely a interesting character. By interesting, I mean kind of terrifying.
Yeah. Nah.
Now, if I'm not
Good.
mistaken, do you have to be let into a circle though, don't you?
Yeah.
So yeah, Alana just jumps in and she's like, "Schwam! I'm in."
Yeah.
She just forces. I mean, that's just like the difference between the books. Like, there's no like conversation about what's happening. She just jumps in. She runs in after blowing up 1,000 guys because she's a huge badass. And her other warder, Archer Boy, is super cool.
Ivan.
Yeah, he's just shooting guys in the face. Love it.
Jen, you had something to say?
I was gonna say, I also just like, again, end of the episode, Loghain's on the ground crying, and they just zoom in on Nynaeve's super pissed off, scary face. Like, you're so perfect,
And you're
I'm
the
still
dragon.
like, and you're the dragon for sure. Look at how mad you are.
Yes, so good. And
Oh.
sorry, going back a little bit to the battle, the one thing beyond the channeling and everything, the visuals of that, I loved just watching more of the Aes Sedai warder dancing of the
yeah.
whole
Around
like,
each
It's
other.
nice to
Yeah.
see
around
that.
each
Yeah,
other
it's
of
fun.
like I'm trying to remember, was it Alana who has the shield bearer warder, or was
No,
that
it
one of
was
the
a-
other ones?
It was one of the other ones.
It was one of the other ones, but I loved watching their little scene with her just like weaving around the shield essentially as he's like blocking shit. It's so cool.
Yep.
It's a very good. It's a visual interpretation of something that is very tough to communicate visually.
Mhm.
It's such a thing that, like, you can, in words, you have a lot of space to communicate that this is a very deep bond between two people through magics. But visually, that's really tough to show until it's two people working in
Beautifully
perfect
choreographed.
concert with each other
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
they have perfect knowledge of each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That cool in tandem fighting.
Yeah.
Fight as one
Which would be
unit.
sick as hell.
Seriously.
All right. Well, is there anything that we want to talk about again? Just sort of like in aggregate for episodes 2, 3, and 4?
Overall, I'm like, as of episode 4, I'm loving the series. Like, they are doing a really good job with the visuals, and like I'm trying really hard not to think of the books at all, because like this is just a very different telling of what's going on, and especially after 4 episodes, and especially after 5 episodes, there's a lot.
Alex,
of
I'm gonna.
It's all. I'm not. That's all I'm
Nope,
saying.
nothing.
I know I can't get to the ferries right now, but I'm gonna make my way. I'm gonna make a boat.
There's a lot of changes from the books. That's all I'm saying. And
What I like is that when they first announced the show, I was like, I'm gonna defend the books. It better be perfect. Better be 100% replica. I've surrendered my need for it to be the books because I like what it is. I'm okay with what they're doing.
Well, I think
okay
the
with
thing for
differences.
me, like, is that the spirit of it remains, and
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
that's
sure.
what like I've seen Brandon Sanderson talk about this as well. Is that like they have 8 episodes a season, and who knows how many seasons they're going to get of this. We know 3
76.
seasons so far, but yeah. Let's hope 76. Then they can go back and do flashbacks of all the things they missed. Right?
Correct.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, we missed this scene. Here's a season
I
of
mean,
it.
everybody's heard about the prequel movies, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you haven't heard, there will be movies set in the Age of Legends.
Oh,
Ah, okay.
In the Age of Legends.
intrigued.
The Age
2
of-
factions.
Cool.
2 factions battled for dominance. That's still accurate.
Yeah, it's true.
That actually is Warcraft 2. Wheel of Time. Anyway, orcs or trollocs. In fact, it matters. Anyway, are we gonna take a short break here?
Yeah, we'll take a break. So what we're going to do, everybody, thank you for hanging out and listening and chatting with us. We are going to open the giveaway. And the giveaway today, we talked about them just a little bit, not quite enough. Tinker. Just write the word tinker in the chat, and you will be entered to win a copy of the PDF of the Cortex role-playing game, Cortex Prime. The tweet went out, so it's running, and people online are going to be seeing it and whatnot, and hopefully coming in and throwing it up. We're going to do how long a break do we need? 5 minutes, 10 minutes?
5 minutes.
I need to refill a cup. That's it.
All right, let's do 5 minutes. We'll come back 9:35, 8:35 if you're in Pacific time. And
Why would you be though?
why would you? Some of our viewers are.
Because it's beautiful here.
I know. I want to live there more than anywhere.
We'll be back in 5 minutes to play our actual play of the Restless Blight.
Yay.
I always forget that that's a thing that we're doing. I was like, I'm so happy to talk about the show.
Oh, right, there's a game
There's a
too.
And then we had to roll
Yeah.
click clacks and save a girl.
Yeah.
Put Tinker in the chat. Get the giveaway. Go.
Tinker it up.
And we're back. I hope you all had a nice 5-minute break,
Whoa,
stood
whoa.
up, drank some water, went to the washroom. I don't know. You did your stuff. We don't have any entries in the giveaway. People, put the word tinker into the chat. I don't care if you won last time. Put your name in and win another copy to give to somebody for a Christmas gift.
There you go. Perfect Christmas present.
Perfect. We
nerdy
got
friends.
one.
I don't think I signed something saying I can't join the giveaway, right?
You already have a copy of the book.
Whatever. Fair point.
So we'll leave the giveaway open, and we'll draw it as we play, I suppose. And no worries if you've got your name in there and you have to drop out and like go to bed or do something else. If you get drawn, I will contact you via Twitch message and get you your prize. We ready to play, people?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so we have, of course, a couple of things that I'll read out and whatnot. But a quick recap: we had switch the names. Our 5 characters who were in the small town of Konala in sort of the southern borderlands, northern Caroline Grass? No, Black Hills. Eastern Black Hills. Yeah, stuff. They were all gathered in front or on the docks, waiting for a boat to come up when a number of large forms came out, and y'all fought Trollocs. So
Some of us fought Trollocs.
some of you, had horrible things happen to your soul and mind.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm so sorry
you
about that, Tim.
You tried.
All right.
What are you guys talking about? Everything's fine.
So if
Cut
you'll
some
remember,
people some glass.
from the first episode there was a prologue. This continues just a little bit. After leaving Belenya Sedai, Roshava went to the dorm room. There she found Eloine curled into a ball in the center of her bed. Roshava sang to Eloine as the younger girl wept, and in the distance they both felt the power surging. Chapter 2 for the Restless Blight.
That was ominous. All right, cool.
Trollocs in the night.
If I don't get that fulfilled, like some sort of satisfaction by the end of this, I'm gonna be really upset.
Trollocs in the night. The Shadowspawn were ferried south in a trader's barge until they reached the village of Konala. Their attack on the docks was foiled by a group of travelers and a local hunter. But the attack itself proved to be a distraction. A Murdral had crept through the village and made its way to the Solaran farm on the south end of town. It did a thief dance. It abducted a young woman. The survivors at the Solaran farm gave each of you a horse to ride, and it has been a long night of travel. The Fade has kept itself ahead of you. This might be a longer chase than you had hoped. Does everybody want to introduce their characters sort of in order as you're riding horses following this trail? Describe for us what your character is doing and how they feel on this ride through the night.
Sure. I'll lead.
Go for it.
It's this is my forest. I'm playing Renea. She is a very tall, muscular woman dressed in sort of handmade clothes, hides, furs, clearly very, very woodsy. She's got this bright red hair that will not be contained. And during this trip through the woods after the Fade, she's just thinking she might want some help from some of her friends.
I guess we'll go in backwards order, and I'll go next. I am playing Isha, Aes Sedai of the Green. Originally from the Borderlands, she trained in combat, but has since tried to do most of her combat by weaving. Long hair, very black hair, very much in control. Donned in pretty sturdy riding dress, and bundled up with trousers and heavy boots and cloak against the snow.
I guess that's me next now. If we're reversing it, right?
Yep.
Correct.
That's correct.
Nalam Krynar is my name, and apparently getting corrupted as hell is my game. A man who can touch the source, but is very, very cautious about letting other people be aware of that, thus trying to do things on the sly, and losing one's mind, apparently. So apparently, dice can roll ones a lot on them.
Yeah.
Sometimes you
as
roll
we
four
ride
ones.
through, I'm assuming it's nighttime
Yeah, it is currently nighttime.
in a wintry forest.
Correct. You are heading
Just
southwards.
As pale as can be, and he was a fairly pale guy to start with, but like that sort of like sickly, sallow pale, and just white knuckling the reins. Not really thinking about riding right now. His mind is on other things. He's got sort of roughly tousled black hair, fairly plain grays and greens and browns for clothing. Pretty average, like farmer fare. Not a whole lot to him. Just, you know, he's got other things on his mind.
Just before I introduce that character, so remember how last session I said it's not the size of the dice it's what you roll with it that counts?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I went nuts. Yeah.
Yep. Where you get. Yep. Anyways, I'm like Iskander Shahin, a blade master for Arad Doman. He is a average height, but like a sort of lithe, muscular build, like a fencer's build. Darker skinned, dark hair, that sort of thing, and he is very much well bundled up, but still cold because he grew up in a much warmer climate, and this is miserable. However, he did get a bit of a warm up fighting some Trollocs, while still also being slightly winded. So he is trying to ride his horse with confidence, but he's entrusting himself to a horse in a climate he is not accustomed to. So it's a little bit of a testy on his nerves, a bit more than normal.
And Tranter's there too. Tranter is a stocky man. He is both thick, strong, and chubby. He is wonderful. He's a man of few words, and he is taking up the rear, keeping his eyes out. And he's got a chainmail. I don't know how to mention that. He's looking chain.
Is the horse very upset by the weight that it's carrying? Is the horse just kind of like, what the hell did you put on my back?
He's on like a Clydesdale.
Would you describe him as mighty?
He's mighty.
He might be letting it all hang out.
He's not, because
He's a brick. Ow!
He's also very respectful and would never let everything all hang out.
Oh, that's nice of him.
So, tracking this fade is going to be a contest. And unfortunately, the difficulty is slightly increased by the winter. Hang on, I have to do the... we've got a trait of winter D8, and I actually have to go in and fix this because apparently...
Fuck winter.
I didn't delete the assets. Ooh, where'd those come from? Move those over here. Because Isha and Nalam don't actually have any power right now. So we'll just clear that out. And
Yeah, weirdly enough, I've released it.
So we have
Let that go.
we have a complication on the scene that winter is making it more difficult to track the Fade. Yes, Jen.
Do we still have our stresses?
Yes, you haven't had.
I would assume so.
Yeah, you haven't had time to step them down, have a rest scene yet. You hurried to the docks, and this is just the first roll. And we're gonna see how well it goes.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Does corruption get stepped down by rest?
No.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That was the answer.
I have corruption.
I mean, corruption does. Well, so it depends on the corruption, right? So Patrick,
Mine
you
doesn't.
you have corruption of not stress, but actually trauma.
Yeah, I have corruption trauma D8.
Yeah, it's real heavy. Jen, your corruption is from a Thakandar blade.
Yeah.
Which means you can't just heal that. That's not going to step down. It needs to be healed by the power.
Yeah, or a wolf that licks me.
I mean...
I'll help you. Let me wield the power at you.
I was gonna say, oh, you are a dog.
So...
Wow.
I'm sorry, what color are you wearing?
Head to toe, bright red. So, the way that we're going to do this is it's a contest. So, we're going to do the back and forth, trying to catch the Fade. And we're going to have each character take a turn if it's necessary. So, one of you will lead, and you'll make the roll of trying to catch the Fade. The Fade makes a roll against you. If it succeeds, another one of you will get to make the roll to explain how your character is helping with the tracking and whatnot. So, who would like to start?
I feel like our hunter should start.
I mean, that
I
made
agree.
sense to me.
Yeah, checked out. Do I do the math there? Yeah.
Can I call for help first?
Absolutely. I mean, I would say that is actually just something you get to add into your pool. But let's role play it. So, what do you do?
Well, she's, I imagine, riding at the lead, because she knows her way around in this place in the dark. And as she's just trying to find tracks, trying to figure out where this thing went, she realizes she can't do this by herself. So Isha's sitting behind her, riding behind. She just notices the reins go completely slack, and she just sits really straight in the saddle and seems to just stop paying attention to where she's going. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to reach out to all my friends and ask them, have they seen the Fade? Which direction has it been? Are they tracking its movements?
And so you get a response back from a nearby pack. They share their names and scents with you. And if you choose, you can share the scent of the Fade. And as soon as you do, everybody hears in the distance howls of anger, fury. There are wolves out there, and they are unhappy. And in Renea's head, the images come to you connected with one word: Neverborn. And so, yes, for this tracking, the wolves will be helping you, and you can add your wildkin die in.
That's impossible. Also, as soon as the wolves start howling, the characters can see us kind of just suddenly sit upright and just horse look around like, pardon me? Are we in trouble?
Anger wolves, why?
We've somehow pissed off wolves too. Damn it!
And as I like come back to myself, I'm like, no, we're fine. Don't worry. They're not
Really?
angry at us.
Danger puppies indeed.
Danger puppies.
Is there like
Big old chompers.
Is there a distinctive howl to? Is that how you can tell?
Yeah, how do you know that?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I listen to wolves all the time.
I like the, yeah. What you
Seems
said
like a
makes,
plausible reason. Yeah.
that seems like what someone would say. So yeah. Who's that?
Well,
As her eyes glint.
well, you Northerners are strange, but definitely interesting.
Renee is
No.
very clearly a very good track.
Exactly.
Oh,
It's fine.
All
I'm
right.
glad she's here.
So, what is your pool? Put it together for us. Let us
Oh.
know how Renea begins this hunt.
I'm gonna use my distinction. All my friends are wolves, which is a D8. Attribute. Does anyone have a suggestion? What's like the perception attribute?
I'm your friend.
Wits?
Wits.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Wits.
Yeah, wits would be good.
D8.
Oh, I can't pull up my.
Um.
I can't pull up my own rules because they're on my hard drive. That's
Oh no. And I'm going to go with love for my value, because I'm utilizing my dearest companions to help me.
okay.
Specialty is woodcraft, and
Yep.
then my wolfkin power.
Sounds good. Yeah, so it's more about being on a hunt with the friends, the creatures that you have, not as focused on killing the Fade or recovering the girl, but like the pleasure of doing something together with your pack.
For sure. All right, here we go.
Ooh, sorry. This is an opportunity. Do you have a wolf name picked out? Because the wolves would know you and they would refer to you by your wolf name.
Oh gosh, I never even thought of this.
All right, no worries. We don't have to put you on the spot. You can do your roll and then you can tell us later.
Okay, I will tell you later. I will probably obsess over it for the next 3 weeks. And then so you would get a D8 when you roll against me. Because
That's
I'm
correct.
injured.
So, yeah, I've got the D8 for your injury, and I've got the D8 for winter in my pool.
Okay, so it's a 13 with a D6 of effect.
Okay. Okay, and so I just barely beat you with a 14 and a D10 of effect.
Ouch.
Oh,
So, you begin to travel and go forward, and you're losing the trail just a little bit, but you're pretty sure you're following well. Hours continue. Who else would like to contribute to this, and how do you help? It doesn't need to be directly tracking the Fade. It could be taking care of the horses, understanding the terrain. It could be motivating people. Yeah, Jen.
I wanted to do understanding the because I am a man of the woods.
Okay.
Nice.
So you're going to need to beat a 14.
Okay, so I use man of the woods D8. And then I'll use an intelligence D8 again, because I'm like reading the land and all that stuff. I think that's intelligence.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I'm going to use my duty D10 because it is my duty to help protect people. And then, would insight help with this?
Insight.
Why are you laughing, Patrick?
Not at you.
Okay.
An Alex and I thing. It's fine.
We're having a conversation on the side.
I would say reading the land, not so much insight. Like if you were looking for shortcuts or easier paths for yourself that doesn't lose that, then no. But if you were trying to figure the land and where the fade might go, that might be insight.
No.
That doesn't sound like Trantor.
Trantor is just like watching out for like things that'll catch the horse's hooves or things like that. He just wants to make sure that our travel is safe.
Not slowed down. Very good. Okay.
And safe.
And safe. And it's a new session, so everybody add +1 plot point.
Woo!
Can you use plot points to cancel out corruption?
No.
I didn't think
So, Meric, if I had one left over from last time, so I add one, or do we just get one to start?
You add one.
What did I need to be?
A 14.
Yeah, that's a 9
Okay.
with a 1.
Okay. Do you have any extra dice that you might be able to add into your 9? Okay.
No, I had a 5, a 4, and a 1.
Okay. So, I will definitely buy that. What's a 1 called? Hitch. There we go. I'm like flub, complication, botch.
I think we'll call them Patricks from now on.
So Jen, you get a plot point, and we add a D6 complication of. Let's add a D6 complication of turned around. Lost in the woods.
Not my fault. I was just looking at the ground.
Okay, so that is a D6 complication added in for Lost in the Woods. However, because this first failure on this test has gone, that is a D10. Because my effect die was D10.
So we're gonna die here.
Yep.
Difficult trail.
We're not dead. It's fine.
Just mostly dead.
How can you be mostly dead? Anyways. Oh, Lost in the Woods is like just a little bit too long for my thing. It's not as pretty for Twitch, but that's fine.
Were you lost in the wood?
Lost in the woods. Anyways. So, you travel throughout the day, heading south and a little bit eastward. The trail is getting harder and harder to follow. It looks as if the Fade has almost lost you. You've got a D10 of complication against you and nothing in your favor. You ride through the day and eventually the horses are getting tired. You get to night and you'll have to set up camp.
What if magic people do magic stuff?
You can absolutely do something like that. But if you rest for the night, you can tend to your wounds and people will be able to step back complications as well.
Yeah, but the Fade gets away.
Fade hasn't gotten away yet. We're going to do one of these tests one of these contests every day.
Oh, so we can track further.
You can continue to track. It's just getting harder the more you fail. If the Fade steps that difficult trail from a D10 to a D12, it's not over yet. It's when it steps it past the D12 that you've completely lost it.
Lost them. Okay.
So we're almost at failing.
It was
We've got a difficult time.
Yep.
Well, then, if we're gonna camp for the night, then I would like to do some healing. I'm no yellow, but I can still treat some wounds. Especially someone who's been stabbed by a blade over there.
All right. So, who sets up the camp? what does it look like? What does your camp look like as you put this together?
I'll set up some horse lines off to the side. And then I'm pretty familiar with where to get good deadfall even in the winter.
I will do some weaving and make us a nice, dry, clear patch where we can set up our tents.
I'm like carrying a bunch of firewood back, and I'm like, oh,
Don't worry, I can make fire with my mind. So
that's really convenient.
Well, we still need the wood to keep the fire going throughout the night.
You can't just channel fire all night long.
I need to sleep sometimes.
Trantor has a... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, you go for it. I was just going to talk about building a fire.
Trantor is going to have like a really, really big backpack. And he'll open it up. And he'll have like rolled up really, really tight a whole bunch of patchwork knitted blankets that he'll lay out for everyone. And then he'll pull out his tea kettle and his little satchel of tea and start like busying himself over the fire to make everybody tea. And he'll hum a song.
Is it a strong Tremel King Black?
No,
I love Trantor.
We never let Trantor take any damage or even come close to dying. We all throw ourselves in front of every blade that comes near Trantor's way.
As Isha accepts a cup of tea, she's like, have you ever thought about becoming a warder?
What's a warder?
Not me, miss. I'm just a simple man. But he'll actually have like a little box of teas, and so he'll go around to each person and say, may I make you a cup? What would you like? I've got I've got the green and I've got the white. This one tastes beautifully like orange blossoms. I've got a good black. And he'll just gather everyone's tea orders.
And let's get a reply with, my good man, I want hot. Whatever hot is, I will take, good sir.
Oh, I'm not a sir, but thank you. I'll be more than happy to help.
You're a goddamn gentleman in this frozen wasteland. Of which I am sure is lovely during the spring and summer time.
At some point, when he's like actually calmed down, I will do some healing on Trantor.
Chasing him around the camp. Sit down!
Just sit down for like 2 seconds. It's still bleeding. Like, come on.
It's alright. You don't have to worry about poor old Trantor.
You literally could die if I don't treat that.
This is new Trantor. I'm giving up on Russian accents. So, go away.
Whatever works.
Just mean like at the start of the episode he was.
He'll let you heal him and just be very thankful.
I think, given that the majority of tasks are being taken care of by significantly more competent people, Iskander's actually just going to try and keep the morale up by just telling funny stories and all that sort of stuff. Just, no.
He's weighing things. He's weighing 2 objects. What do you think's heavier?
But yeah,
put your money down.
He's doing would you rather games. Would you rather?
A snail will kill you if it touches you, but you get $1 billion.
So, you know what I like the idea of is Trantor's tea or Iskander's story might be a way to sort of overcome some of the discomfort from the winter one, and you might be able to step down that complication. So one of you could take a roll to try and get rid of it. Like, it's...
Are you pointing, or...?
I'm pointing.
Yeah.
She was casting Alohomora on you.
I would say the difficulty to overcome the effects of winter on your tracking would be pretty difficult, so I'll put it at 2d10 with the d8 of winter in as an effect. Well, not necessarily.
I believe in you, Iskandar.
Okay, well...
So in this case, because it's a single action, I roll first to set the difficulty.
Oh, Lovely.
And
Oh,
so...
low.
I mean, this makes sense. It's a 17.
Oh, fantastic. One time.
Still
It's-
believe
it's-
in you.
Pretty
Excuse me
difficult.
for a second. So what I'm gonna
do it.
So I'm gonna roll Silver Tongue Rascal with a Heart of Gold for my distinction. I have Presence of D8. I'll throw in there. I guess I've got love and friendship in my heart because I'm doing this. Would Persuasion as a specialty work?
Yeah, I like it.
Cool. But then I'm going to spend a plot point. So can I add? If I spend a plot point now, can I add another attribute in there?
Yes.
Okay. So hold on a sec. Spending that, and I'd like to actually use glory for this as well, because the combination of, well, yes, I'm trying to know my heart. At the same time, I'm showing off with good storytelling as well. So
Yeah.
I'd like to add glory.
Here, I'm gonna, where is it? Spending plot points. I'll just share that little handout in case people didn't have it. It's not super useful for people on Twitch, but hey, look at all these things. There's a bulleted list of things that you can do.
Your rule book.
Ooh.
Like a nerd.
Yes!
That makes Meric feel so happy. I'm gonna just let you know that right now.
I'm
His
gonna
heart
put it on my rule
swelled.
book shelf.
Okay,
Winch.
so now,
What's Jen doing?
Probably talking to a child.
all right.
Oh, that's
Now
fair.
I'm going to roll. Okay, so normally it'd be a 14, but I'm going to spend another plot point to add the 5 to my roll to make it a 19.
Excellent.
And that gives me a D8 effect die.
Okay. And so Winter is a D8, so you've equaled it, so you step down Winter to a D6.
Yay!
Nice.
Yay.
Which I like. That's pretty thematic. Like, the group is gaining some cohesion, and it's going to allow you to sort of overcome the challenges of the winter landscape a little bit easier tomorrow.
You're cold, but you're having fun.
Yeah. So for the healing, Alex, let's not have you roll to sort of like embrace the source. We're not in a combat situation where we need to know how much power you have and stuff like that. Drank tea.
Heal
Winter
me
sucks
like
less.
one of your French girls.
Yeah. Hands up if you have an injury that Isha needs to heal, that can be healed.
Feels like a shot at me.
It was.
Yeah. I thought about putting my hand up for a second, and then I was like, "Don't put your hand up, idiot." Nothing she can do.
I mean, I have a complication that she can't heal.
Your
so-
complication's in your brain.
Yep.
I can't do anything for your brain.
I need another person to help me.
Okay, so let's go with Tranner. What is your what stresses do you have?
I have a D6 corrupted and a D6 injury.
Okay.
Ooh, rough.
Well, I think I should heal the corruption from the blade would be the most obvious thing to do, I think. So yeah, Aes Sedai of the Green. I'm going to use love as my value, and let's say intelligence as my attribute, and then D8 from Channeler.
I can't wait to be your warder.
So that is a 10 with a D10 effect dice.
Wow. Okay. Oh, I didn't set a difficulty.
You did not.
I did not. Okay. The difficulty for recovering something like this is, I think, 3 dice equal to the severity of the injury. I'll just double check that, because I should have rolled that first. Skills, creating characters. Where am I finding this? Apologies for the book flipping. Why don't, while I look up the rules, you explain how you approach Tranner and do the healing.
I go up to him and I'm like, Tranter, seriously, I need you to sit down for 5 minutes. I need to treat your wound so that it doesn't get further corrupted and kill you.
Oh, with many thanks. Yes, I'll sit.
Thank you. And then, waits for him to sit and then kind of forcefully positions him so she can get at the wound. And then, channels spirit and water and air together and attempts to draw out the corruption and heal the wound.
That felt, that's a very magical. Very good at what you do.
I try. I'm not as skilled at healing as some of my sisters, but...
So...
What, Jen? No, I thought of a funny joke. That was what it was.
Yeah, sure.
Tranter's Irish now?
He's from... apparently he's from Urundi, so whatever.
He's a man of many voices.
So, if you at home also wanted to flip through a rulebook digitally and get to Recovering from Complications on page 37, you should probably enter our giveaway by typing out the word Tinker in chat. And yes, if you won in our first game, you are absolutely welcome to enter again. We have 2 entries right now, which means we still have 3 books to give away. If you're hearing me talk, put the word Tinker in the chat and win a book, basically. Page 37, Recovering from Complications. It is a pool consisting of the complication and a base difficulty of 2d8. So, 2d8s and the d6 for corruption. And Alex, how much did you get? You got a ton.
I got a 10 and a d10 of effect.
A 10 and a d10. Okay. And I got a 10 as well. And you
so
need to
exceed
exceed
I have to beat it. So I will use one of my plot points and add my 4, gives me a 14 with a d10 effect.
Excellent. And the d10 completely wipes that out. And so Isha is able to heal the corruption from Tranter. The injury still stays because this was a targeted weave. But the good news is, after you sleep for the night, the injury will drop from d6 to d4.
Thank you, monsieur. Very impressive.
You're welcome. I wasn't able to completely heal the wound, but the corruption at least won't kill you in your sleep now.
Oh, yeah. I'm very thankful. Don't be so hard on you.
I'm not being hard on myself. I just know my limitations.
Very.
I am much better at the blasting things into oblivion, personally.
I can't wait to see that.
Well, you got to see a little bit of it yesterday.
Well, it'll be good against whatever we're tracking down then. Oof.
If it truly is a fade, a Merdral, then we have our work cut out for us.
All right. Renea, what is your injury? Or your stress?
I am injury D8. Which I think drops down to a D6 just when we rest, yes?
Yeah, so overnight it'll go to a d6, but Isha's going to try and heal tonight as well.
Might as well.
You know, if we get a full night's rest and nothing terrible.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Whatever could happen.
It's
Did you read my
fine.
book? What?
Did you want to roll your difficulty first?
Yes, thank you for the reminder. I'm sitting here thinking about it. Oh my goodness! So
Not good.
you need to beat a 6, and there are 2 opportunities.
Wow.
I rolled double 1s. So do you have plot points?
I have 1 left.
So yeah, you can spend that 1, and you could step down things like Lost in the Woods, Difficult Trail, Winter. Like, you can start stepping those things down.
So I just barely beat you with a 7.
Yay!
But D10 effect again.
Okay.
And
Ooh.
yeah, I will use my plot point to step down the let's step down the D10. Which one was that?
The difficult trail.
The difficult trail. Let's step that one down to a D8.
Okay. So with your D10 of effect, Renea's wound knits completely together, and although Renea, you feel exhausted, like cold shoots through your body and your muscles all tense up, you look down at your wound and it's gone, just clean healed flesh.
Ah, that's better. It's much easier when there's not that nasty trollic poison to deal with.
Yeah. That's... She, like, really looks at you for the first time.
It's
You do
something
some kind of
wrong.
magic or something?
I've never seen people who can do that. Usually injuries take
You've
time.
not met many Aes Sedai in your time.
Nope. You'd be the first.
Well, I'm glad that I'm giving you a pleasant experience.
Oh, are some of them bad?
I would say that some of my sisters aren't nearly as agreeable as I am.
Oh, well, I'm
If you
glad I
could-
met an agreeable one then.
You could just fill out this comment card on service.
How was your healing?
Turn
today?
into the White Cloaks.
Would anybody else like to spend a plot point to take advantage of the other opportunity that I have that Isha cannot spend on?
I have 3 plot points. I should spend one.
Yep.
What do we have for complications still going?
D6 of winter, D6 of lost in the woods, D8 of difficult trail.
Ooh. Can we get rid of one of those? How does spending a plot point work? Do I have to roll a thing?
It steps it down.
It just steps it down to like it would go to a D4?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll spend a plot point to step down winter.
Yeah.
Set up a decent camp, and we all, make sure everyone is just wrapped in their Trantor blankets and has their Trantor tea.
Aw.
I like it. Ooh.
Just sort of, he's Alex, or my name's not Alex. That's Alex over there. Nalam is just sort of absent-mindedly, sort of just like out of body, just wandering around, making sure everyone's taking care of at camp.
I like it. Yeah, the tea, the stories, the hospitality. Winter is just not grating against you as heavily. And so as it's a D4, the first person to roll tomorrow will get that D4 in their pool, and then winter will be gone.
Ooh, that's nice.
It'll go
We got
away.
rid of winter.
Winter
It's
was
spring!
We
vanquished.
defeated winter.
And I really enjoyed this, but Alex, for your plot point spend, channelers can feel shadow spawn, like, when they're close enough. So the difficult trail at a D10, it's kind of like hope is being lost, but you feel a twinge and you can tell it's to the east and heading north now. It's actually looped around. And so because you spend that plot point to extend those senses and get the ping, you drop it from D10 to D8.
Yeah, so like as soon as I finish kind of healing Nicole,
Renee.
Renea, Isha just kind of gets this like quick far off look. I think I've found the Shadow Spawn's trail once more. We should be able to have a better idea of where it's going in the morning.
Hot dog.
Did you also have a friend tell you?
If you would call the one power a friend, then yes.
Oh.
What friends are you referring to?
I know some folks in the woods.
And you were speaking to them along our journey?
Yep.
Impressive. I didn't notice at all.
They're subtle most of the time. Except when angry. But nobody's
They're
subtle when
wizards.
they're angry.
Subtle and quick to anger.
All right. Excuse me.
Wasn't that weird about the wolves?
We should probably focus on that slightly more. Shouldn't our
Totally
camp
normal
not be-
around here.
We should
So-
prepare for wolf incursions.
Subtle
I
but
wouldn't
quick
worry
to
about
anger. Sorry. You know, it's kind of
Wouldn't
like
worry about it.
subtle but quick to anger reminds me of my cousins. Oh my god. I learned the blade for a reason. Oh,
All right. So you settle in, you set your watches. The night passes without incident. You wake up in the morning. And you can pick up the trail. So let's start with somebody who hasn't rolled in the setup so far. So Nalam, Isha, or Iskander. How do you
Well,
begin
I
the
can-
day and continue this journey?
I can go off of my ping and try and keep tracking. So Aes Sedai, green, and then I don't know. Let's say duty for my value, and then
Smite that shadow.
gotta smite that shadow, and then probably wits. Yes, for tracking down this creature.
Yeah. And then you're going to add winter into your pool.
Right, the
So
D4.
you roll the d4 in there. And then I'm adding Lost in the Woods and Difficult Trail to mine. So, as you're starting the contest, you get to roll first and tell me what I have to beat. Do you have any stresses or injuries? Oh, and everybody who has stresses or injuries, non-corruption, steps them down one.
I get it, Meric. Mine doesn't step down. I didn't even think about it.
I'm just making sure.
I didn't even look up because I knew.
Okay, so I've got an 11 for my difficulty and a D8 of effect.
Okay.
Managed to roll a 3 on the D4.
Ooh, I've got a 14 with a D10 of effect.
You're killed.
Rude.
So
The fade actually kills you.
you're following, a couple of hours pass. The the snows are heavy, but the wind isn't as bad. The winter complication is now gone. Who would like to take the next roll to attempt to beat a 14?
oh yeah, let's have the send you warm weather point. No.
I mean, there's any sort of thing that you could be doing. You could be, not just tracking, but you could also be, like I said, taking care of the horses, or cooking a really nice meal when it gets to midday, like those sorts of things. It's all a narrative of your entire day's worth of journey here.
The lamb can take the lead on this.
You do it,
Yeah.
please.
So,
And I can go again, but other people should have a turn. So go.
as we ride along, chasing what amounts to a brigand,
Yeah.
like a really scary brigand.
Very scary, Brigid.
Like, if a brigand had like a chief, that guy would be scared of this guy. But so the lamb is just looking like sort of out of the saddle for tracks as we ride, something to indicate passage. So I'm going to use ex-Queensguard soldier as a distinction.
Mm-hmm.
That's right, everyone. Yeah, a little bit of backstory on the lamb right there. And then wits, if that's still like a perception based.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And then probably truth, justice.
Justice. I like justice.
Justice.
You definitely,
Truth,
Justice.
justice.
like you
And
said,
love.
you're following a brigand.
Yeah. With a specialty in perception.
Yes. Yeah, for
Cool.
sure.
Does my corruption trauma apply to this?
No.
Cool.
I mean, I could probably throw it in and say, like, oh, the shadows are doing things at you, or you're hearing whispers, but I'm going to save that for when you're channeling.
I figured it would be a way more cinematic time when
Yeah.
you would punch me in the dick.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'd be like, cool, everything's good.
I mean, yeah, a nut punch
So-
should be somewhat cinematic.
And it will be. I know Meric. Trust me, I've been punched many times. Do you set the difficulty, or do I?
You need to beat a 14 right now, because we're still part of the same one. So Isha did the first roll, and Nalam's doing the next.
And is that including all the complications and shenanigans?
Yeah, that's all already in there.
Cool. I don't know how. I can't. It's been a while.
Yeah, no worries. I got a 14 with a D10 of effect.
It's so high.
What's the thing you do to add extra stuff in?
So you've already rolled, yes?
Yeah.
Okay, so then you can spend a plot point to add one of your non-1 dice into your total.
Okay. So I spent a plot point.
Yep.
So I got 2 6s on my 6s, my D6s,
Nice.
which is great,
Yeah.
but not enough. So then I spent a plot point, add my 4 from my D8, which makes it a 16,
Yep.
and then I have a D8 of effect.
Nice.
Nice.
Sorry, you said total was 16, right?
Correct.
Okay. So
Which
it
was
goes
higher
back
than
to the
your
fade.
number.
Yeah, the fade does not give in,
Of course not.
and we'll roll
Why would
again.
he? Oh no, it's that back and forth nonsense.
It is.
I don't just win.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yep.
Ooh, and I get a 19 with a D8 of effect.
I don't know if I can.
Son of a...
I could roll really well.
Yep,
What
but
happens
it's
if I
but it's
roll-
not you now.
It's
now
not
it's
me?
on to somebody else. Yeah.
Hey, I walk away and everything's fine.
Yep.
Totally fine, yes. Yes, everything is totally
Yeah.
fine.
So
Scanner's gonna duck.
what's a scanner gonna do?
Oh, well then, sir. How do I spin being born into a merchant house into something useful?
Trading trails.
Oh yes, there we go. You know, he understands at least. Oh, you know what? No, if maybe there's like a map. I don't know if someone has that. He would. If there's a map, he could basically read maps and just be like, okay, look, you said he was heading east. He's now heading north. Looking at this, be like, oh wait, this would probably be a logical, you know, movement path and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, gonna go with. Oh, there is no dice combination that I could possibly do in this world that. Oh wait, no. Maybe. Okay.
Maybe.
All right, hold on. So there's that.
We believe in you.
Intelligence D8,
Mm-hmm.
and then shoot, it would have to be glory again, or something, or justice. It would be better glory, but glory doesn't make sense. Justice would, however. And I got nothing else.
Oh no. Okay, so you're rolling 3 dice?
Yep. Yeah,
Wait, can he spend plot points early to do something?
Yeah, he can spend plot
I-
points early to grab another die from one of his sets.
But I only have 1 plot point left, so I wouldn't be able to add.
So to get a 19, you
I would
probably
need at
want.
least 3 dice,
Right.
And you need to get a
Right.
20, yeah.
right? Well then. I'm a little hooched.
Good luck.
Nope. Oh, no one. So hey, whatever.
Okay. So, another day, the trail continues to be difficult. By the end of the night, you have not caught the Fade. The D8 of effect will bump up the difficult trail to a D10 again.
Yep. This.
And you camp for your second night. Everybody can recover one more step of the stresses. And
Tranter's looking great.
is there anything that anybody wants to prepare this night? You could, actually, I'm going to say that because you're 2 days away, Lost in the Woods no longer applies. Because you've traveled so far that you're no longer lost in that particular area, you have caught the trail. So we're just going to get rid of that one.
Cute.
Yay.
And that's 2 days since Kanala.
Yeah.
Anything of interest or excitement happen around the campfire on the second night? Or do you continue tracking the Fade as it heads northward into Arafel and the Borderlands?
Uh-oh.
Well,
SpaghettiOs.
Eskyner's doing a lot better. He's not as tired. It's not as cold. So he's more energetic. He's more, rather than, sort of more forcefully trying to boost the morale, he's actually just kind of being like, oh yeah, this is cool now. I'm okay. I'm getting it. Just, I'm hitting my groove here. And so is being jovial with everyone.
Well, we're heading into the Borderlands, so it's going to be so super nice compared to what you're used to. They call them balmy, I believe.
Yeah.
Oh, no, sorry. It's the opposite. It's super crazy cold.
Well,
and
it
trees
depends how north you go, right?
Yeah, I mean, we were already too far north, so
But we're
it's
no
gonna get
longer
way worse.
There's
winter
nothing wrong with
storm.
north. I mean,
That is arguably not true.
okay,
Look at the
maybe
map.
if you go out into the Borderlands, that's a bit of a problem. But
If you go
this
up
is
north,
nice.
There's a place
This
that
is a
says
nice
Shio-
area. Yeah, okay, that's bad.
That's
But
north.
I'm just
But-
saying that here is not terrible.
But here's the thing, even though we're further north, there's not an actual complication that's affecting us. So apparently, the winds and snows have died down, and
Well,
so
yeah,
while
it's tree
cold,
shelter.
Yeah, we don't have like crazy wind chill and all this sort of stuff. It's just like normal cold. That doesn't.
We got those,
seep
like,
into curtains.
Those sick winter days where it's just like super bright, and it's like everything's cold, but you're still getting like warmed by the sun, and it's way less shitty.
Yeah, and then after having had gone through the damn snowstorm, it's just like, wow, this is great. I can feel my nose. I have fingers. I knew they existed, but I can feel them now.
The air doesn't hurt my face.
All right. Well, as you continue to head north on your third day, who takes the lead?
I'll go back in the lead.
Yes. Can we please let Renea do it?
So, with our shiny new experience points, I went for augmented senses,
Oh, sick.
which says that I can step up a perception die. Does that mean like my wits die, or do I have to have the perception specialty?
That's a good point. It probably was the perception specialty, but in this case, let's step up your wits die. No problem.
Sure. So I'll spend a plot point,
And you do a big old sniffer.
and I start sniffing. Okay, so we'll do that.
We don't think anything of it because it's cold up here. We're
Yeah,
like,
she just
her nose
sniffing
is
a
really
whole lot.
running.
Yeah, huh? That sucks for her.
Do you have a
Oh,
cold? Are you feeling well?
Of
She's
course.
not like
I've got an hanky if you want it.
Yeah, she's not wiping her nose. Everyone's like behind her talking. Like she's not wiped her nose once. She's doing a lot of sniffing.
Well, actually, it doesn't sound like she's actually got the sniffles.
Yeah, there's no congest. Like I don't.
she's
She's
just sniffing.
She's
Yes,
completely
Angie.
ignoring this entire conversation.
Yes,
Like she's
Angie.
not even perceiving it.
She gets off the horse and then like walks in a circle with her face pressed against the ground. And we're like, now that's not right. That seems weird.
It's just a little odd. It's just odd.
Okay, right?
But I mean, you know, wood
Nothing's
folk,
bad.
right?
I know there's heat stroke if you stand up too much sun. Is there like a winter stroke? Is there
You
a
get cold stroke?
is that
It's
a
called
thing that's-
hypothermia.
Oh, right.
Right.
Cold stroke sounds like a Goliath villain. A
No.
Gargoyle's villain.
It's ice fever.
Oh yeah, there
Okay.
we go.
If anybody's
Here we go.
Ice
watching
fever.
uh,
Ba-da-ba-bow.
the new DuckTales.
You gotta
Is
watch
that when they
it,
go on the
too.
mountain?
Yeah.
Did I watch that one with you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That looks
so,
like a one's
Meric,
face.
exciting news for you.
Oh, good.
There are 2 ones available.
Oh, so
Oh.
exciting.
That looks like a one's face. Says Meric.
And then what happens if I don't have effect die?
Then you get an effect die of either a D4 or a D6. I can never remember.
Okay.
Probably like a D4.
I'm pretty
Like
sure
a
that it's a
D8.
D4. Yeah.
So that's a 10. With
Oh.
the smallest number of effect die available.
Cool.
And a couple of hitches.
Yeah.
We're off to
That's
a great start, guys.
Awesome.
I hope
Such
you
a
all...
lovely,
You
such a
sniffed
lovely
into a
couple they
porcupine.
are. Badger hole. Oh no! Stuck a razor right in there. The horse, and the wolves are like, no, don't.
Here we go. If there are no dice
Oh, I
left
bet
in
it
the
went in
pool,
here. No!
if there are no dice left in the pool once the total is determined, or the remaining dice are hitches or otherwise spoken for, the effect die is always a D4. Page 20. If you want to find that in the PDF, you could win a copy of this PDF.
If only you had a PDF of the Cortex Prime system that you could follow along and look for the rules on your own time.
We're still giving away 3 more. Just put the word tinker in the chat.
You could just enter the word tinker and get a copy?
Basically, yes.
Meric, that's impossible. That can't possibly be true.
Due
enter
to
word
the
tinker.
generosity of fandom and Cortex RPG, Cortex Tabletop, it is possible, Patrick. Anyways, so you've got a 10 with 2 hitches and a D4 of effect. Fantastic. Let's see how well the
For you,
fade
baby.
does.
Please just.
He's now in you.
We now have to kill Renee because she is now the Fade.
Guess what?
God.
That's a 1 face.
That's your one face? That doesn't look like a one face.
Double ones. My
Okay.
total is 10, which means I failed.
Amazing.
Okay.
The sniffing
So,
worked.
The sniffing worked.
Badger tells you, yes, the fade passed by at midnight. You went that
Cool,
way.
thanks, buddy.
Also, but you have to pay a price. What kind of price? Snap.
Okay, so what we're gonna do is I am going to spend buy your hitches for 1 plot point to give you a D8 of angry. You're just
I
you
can
know
do angry.
yeah, you're just not
I'm frustrated.
yeah, and you're just getting a little bit tense as you
Little
feel like
snarly.
as you're closing in. Now, you are going to create a D4 asset of gaining ground.
Ooh, okay, so I'm assuming we have to build that asset and have it like eventually go over the D12 mark then?
You got it.
Ah.
If you get that over the D12, you will completely succeed. I do have to spend a plot point out of my pool to do that.
Side note,
Because
if we win, we get to fight a Myrddraal.
that's correct.
That's the present.
That's the prize. Yeah.
It's not we just win and it goes away. We get to fight it.
So what happens...
I'm sure it'll be fine.
In order of operations, you're going to buy my opportunities and so on, but the next step is that my Myrddraal is taken out of this contest and you catch it. And I say, no, I spend a plot point, and instead of being taken out, you apply an asset, which is gaining ground D4. So, now, I have 2 opportunities for you all to take advantage of. You can... we start with Renea, because she rolled. Nicole, do you have any plot points you would like to spend?
I do have plot points.
Okay. You can step down difficult trail or create a new asset. Unfortunately, you can't step up gaining ground because it doesn't technically exist yet. But
Okay. In that case, I will step down difficult trail.
okay. So did you want to spend both and step it down to D6? Do you have 2 plot points to spend?
I do have 2 plot points to spend. Yeah. Yeah, let's make it easier for all my new pals.
All
My
right.
2-legged pals. I'm sure they're fun, right?
Yeah. And remember,
Wait, that's us.
if you're out of plot points, you can always say how one of your distinctions actually makes a roll more difficult, hinder it down to a D4, and automatically gain a plot point.
I could do that.
All right. On the 3rd day, it's fairly clear to Renea that the crossing over into the Borderlands has made the Fade have to be more conservative. It's got to skirt a lot more areas because people here are looking for creatures like it. And you're able to gain quite a bit of ground. That's day 3.
Do we only get 1 roll that day, or do we get more rolls?
Just
Well,
one
we've won.
roll per day. Yeah. You did
Oh,
succeed,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right.
Renee like sniffs the air, gets off the horse, walks around a bit, sniffs the air some more, turns that way.
Point.
I was like, okay.
All right. Yep.
Okay. So then, 4th day. All
Okay.
right. Who wants to kick it off?
Oh, 2-legged friends, you can do it.
Oh,
I mean, we can't.
okay.
We've
You know
shown
what?
that.
Maybe I have something Iskander could do. Maybe along the way we meet like some travelers or farmers and stuff like that, and Iskander can be talking with them and then getting like clues or hear stories from them and getting hints.
I love it. That's great.
So yeah, Silver Tongue Rascal with the Heart of Gold. Do that.
Ooh, I can use... Hang on. I can use one of the villagers that I created that
Hey!
I didn't get to use. Tim, roll me a D4.
4.
You encountered Chetwald Brackenbush.
Here, I'm gonna switch to the virtual tabletop focus so that it's nicer for people on Twitch. But everybody can see him.
Oh, he's got a nice sarong.
So this
I
is
feel like that breeze in the Borderlands would be. Whew.
This is a trader, and his name is Matoran Trakinar.
I'm sure it's not Chetwald Brackenbush.
Chetwald Brackenbush. Yeah, so Matoran you speak to. We'll also move you. All right, you can go ahead and continue with your pool making.
So yes, my presence or manipulation, they're both D8, and then justice, because I'm trying to appeal maybe to his sense of justice. Like, that we are tracking down a fade. Iskander only barely knows what a fade is. He knows it's bad. But presumably this villager who grows up in the Moorlands would be like, "Oh no, that's real bad."
I believe those exist.
Yeah.
I'm clearly using terminology I'm not entirely familiar with, but I generally understand the general context. And so that is.
I mean, to be fair, there are like 70 words for Midra, so you could just like come up with one and be like, "Oh yeah, this is what they're called from where I'm from."
Yeah, have you seen a skulk?
Seen a schlorp?
Have you seen that leech mouth?
Seen a big old stabby boy? Weird
So,
Kaylee
yes.
McGrim face?
So, am I rolling or is the? Oh no, I'm
Yeah,
rolling.
you roll because you kick it off.
Oh,
And then I'm going to have the D4 in my pool. And the D6.
The D4 from what?
The D4 from gaining ground, because it's more likely that I roll a 1.
A 1.
Right.
okay.
like a complication.
That's right.
I'm going to gamble.
Ooh.
I am going to spend my last remaining plot point to add one more die to my roll, making it a 16 with a D8 effect.
Nice.
Dancing with
Okay.
Jack in the Shadows.
Ooh.
Yep.
A 16. Ooh. That is going to cost me. So I got a 15, so I'm going to spend a plot point
Ooh.
and add a die in,
Oh, that
making
makes the
it
next roll harder.
a 17 with a D6 of effect.
Yikes.
So Matoran
I
definitely, yeah, Matoran says, "Oh, well, yes, we've definitely seen a couple of strange characters in the night. My uncle, actually," and so on and so forth, and yada yada. But you get the sense that there are some trails that people would use if they were not wanting to be seen, and this local trader heading southward down the road gives you the inside scoop. So, who wants to beat a 17?
With what?
No.
Someone who's got a lot of dice can take
Yeah,
a hinder.
I
Throw a
Oh,
fireball
at what?
I don't know.
The
I was
problem.
gonna.
Yeah, wherever the
gonna
problem
say-
is, I channel it.
I was thinking that maybe like we could hit a patch of like dead bramble forest that the Fade would have had to like navigate, and Tranter's getting real frustrated because he really wants to save the girl. And so instead he's just gonna axe his way straight through it to make time.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah, that works.
Cool.
Tranter
is-
applies destruction.
Yeah, Tranter is an axe. So,
Trantor uses
I
Got a
have-
body like a battle axe.
yeah.
He's a
He-
brick!
Got
House!
a D8 in trained in battle, a D10 in strength. Still doing our duty here, so we got another D10 in duty. I have a specialty in axe fighting, and I used my monies, aka my points, to buy a signature asset axe.
Ooh.
Nice. Cool.
So that's a lot of dice.
That's a lot of dice. Did you want to trade out one of your D8s for a D4 to get an immediate plot point?
No.
Okay.
I want all the points. Plus, I have 4.
Oh wow. So you
I'm
guys-
lousy in the PP, baby.
That's a lot of PP.
Hey, don't ever say that word. Those words together. Don't say them.
But you're lousy in the PP?
Yeah, don't say that.
Lousy with PP?
Lousy with PP is different. Lousy in the PP, not great for you.
Yeah, no, that's a visit to the doctor, and probably. Yeah.
So what was I trying to beat?
A
17.
bunch of tests.
Okay, so I got 2 8. I got no 1, by the way.
Ooh.
So I get 2 8 to 16. So then I could spend a power point of the plot to add 1 dice.
Correct. Yep.
All right, I will add. And are we doing it back and forth?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So I want to do high so that you get fucked.
Yep.
So I'll add my 6, making
Mhm.
it a 24. No, 20. Oh, math.
20.
Yeah, 24.
22.
No, 22.
Yep.
And my
Damn.
effect at E10.
Ooh.
Wow.
Wow.
That's really
Fuck
good.
Fade.
Yep.
Yeah, I used my 2 d8s, which both rolled 8s, and then a d6, which added a 6.
Nice. Okay.
Nice.
And so the
That's a good roll.
fade goes, and the best I've got is if I spend a plot point, I could get an 18 because I rolled another 1 and we have an opportunity. So Tranner succeeds.
Suck it, Fade.
Tranner can immediately spend 1 plot point if you'd like to step something down.
Yes. Yes, it does.
All right. So
He wants to step down that difficult trail.
yeah, drop that down to a D4. You're closing in. You're feeling it, and then you got a D10 of effect, right?
Mm-hmm.
So gaining ground goes up to that full D10.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Almost there.
All right.
There.
That was day
We're gonna
4
get
and
you.
meeting the trader.
I feel like Trantor chops so much through a forest, and it's a more efficient path that just becomes a travel road for the future.
It's
That
like
people
that
are like,
guy-
did you notice that there's like suddenly a hole through the woods over there?
Yeah, there's like a new road.
Yeah.
it's
Where's
like
that?
guy who chops like a path through the mountain.
Over like 30 years?
Yeah.
That guy's
But
a
Trantor
huge...
does it in one afternoon.
Yeah. It's just...
If you're
Right.
going to take the trail, I'd like it named Lady Isha Trail.
Oh, wow. That's a weird
Are
name.
you sure you don't want to become a warder?
Let me tell you about
Oh.
warders.
So, it's been 4 days, and the way that this works, if you succeed on your next 2 sort of exchanges over days, you will catch up to the fade, because I'm assuming, like, it doesn't even matter effect dice at this point. Like, if you get a D4 of effect both times, you'll bump your D10 up to a D12, and then you'll bump the D12 past and succeed. So you just need to succeed on 2 more days without getting stepped down.
What if
So,
we succeed really good on one day?
like, the best you can do is a D12 of effect,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then it just
Or
switches
what-
it to D12. Or you can
But
spend a
what
plot
happens-
point.
To add 2 defect dice. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I was gonna say.
That's true, yeah.
Got it. But you can like add a d6 and just get the d12 and then keep going. It stops at d12 till you get another.
Sorry, no. As Tim pointed out, if you put a plot point in, you can have 2 effect dice.
But if you
Got it.
don't, is what Jen was asking, I think.
Yeah.
That is correct.
Okay. So, that was your 4th day. 5th day dawns. You travel, and early on... Yes?
Sorry, Trantor wants to give Iskander like his good cloak or something because Iskander's not used to this cold weather.
Mhm.
Scanner gratefully takes it.
And Trantor will just wear a one of the crocheted blanket squares.
Nice.
I mean,
You are moving through the country of Arafel quickly. You've probably stopped at small towns occasionally to provision yourselves and so on, but you're getting uncomfortably close to the Blight. You are probably about 3 days away from entering the Blight.
Oh, this is just starting to feel like home.
Par for the course.
As you're traveling this day, we'll get to whoever is rolling and doing that first, but you come across a small... We already had a trader's wagon, so you're going to come across a small mill. Lumber workers, a little stable, and the smell of blood is on the air, as it looks as if people were killed in the night and replacement horses taken.
Ooh. That's not great.
What a dick.
So,
We're catching up.
you are catching up. You're very close. Who is going to kick this off? We haven't had Nalam in a while. Isha in a while.
There's a reason.
Wonder
the ping.
Twin powers activate.
Form of insanity. Now you do a shape. Helpful thing.
I'm trying to think of a way
Um,
to use channeling to make this better. But
I was gonna say, what if, much like the first flight from Emmons Field, while we ride, Nalam, not sort of focused on it, but needs the horses to go faster, needs them to have more spirit.
Absolutely. Just wash some of that exhaustion from the horses. The
Yeah.
Murdral apparently just got
yeah.
fresh mounts.
Exactly. We cannot rest.
I
Sort of
like it.
panic focus on it.
And I'm definitely adding your corruption in.
What? No way!
Who would have possibly guessed? Oh my.
I'm so surprised by that. All right.
So because it's representing a lot of channeling for like the entire group, I'm gonna go with the trauma level rather than the stress levels. So what is the trauma level of your corruption?
D8.
Cool. D8.
So haunted by Sardine.
The cool
Rest of my
thing
character.
is
Oh,
you get to add in the D10 of gaining ground
nice.
and the D4 of difficult trail.
Excellent news. The D4 is because I might fuck it up harder, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because a D4 usually isn't that much help,
Yeah.
and it can
It's just like
roll
it's a
one.
caltrop.
Yeah.
It's meant to hurt you.
Yeah.
And then I'm guessing resolve.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like resolve for this.
And
So you push the horses past the limit.
push it to the limit. Power, just like trying to force his will upon something else.
Mm-hmm.
That's. I would not say that a specialty in combat channeling probably applies here. But could I draw through my D8 Angreal?
Yes. Could you describe it as you're riding?
Yeah.
So as Nalam is riding, one of his hands drifts from his reins into his pocket to an old artifact he found moons ago that has always sort of had like he felt an affinity for it. And it's the front foreclaw of some sort of large ancient cat. That's sort of like front knuckle. You know, like have you ever seen a tiger claw? It's like way more than just the claw. It's like a big knuckle to it as well, and then a big claw, but bigger. And it's old and like sort of darkened by age because every Angreal is. But carved around the whole surface of it, sort of like textured, are thorns.
Cool.
And he sort of
That's
brushes
creepy as shit.
his calming sort of like mental thought is like, you know how like some people have like fidget spinners and stuff. His fidget spinner is just brushing his thumb over the thorns.
Oh, that's a cool.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then do you take the corruption, right? You add
Yeah,
that to yours.
I've got
or
corruption added to mine.
Okay, and I roll first, or you roll first?
You roll first, and I gotta beat you.
Here we go. Please don't be like 6 ones. I'll just give up playing male channelers
And
forever.
we just all right. It's just we're Nalam is gonna go. Everybody, let's roll initiative.
Okay. Okay. So that would be a 17 with a D10 of effect.
Nice.
Ooh, spicy.
I rolled a
Okay.
4 on the D4.
All right. I did roll, and I got a 15 with a D10 of effect.
Yeah.
My number was higher than that.
It was, and so
Yeah.
I could spend a plot point, but I like the idea that you're closing in, so we're not going to at this point, and that's a success. The source does what you need it to do. Your horses surge forward. The taint does not drive you further insane. What do you have any madnesses that are starting to sort of manifest?
There was the scene in the village where he was trapped behind his own eyes.
Yep.
And I think he's I don't know if you guys have ever had the feeling that it happens a lot, not a lot. It happens sometimes when you're very, very tired, that you feel you're not yourself, that you're like a third person almost.
Yep.
And you're just kind of on autopilot and you're not super in control. That's becoming more prevalent in Nalam, that he is not himself. He's himself witnessing a person doing stuff.
Cool.
Like he sees himself riding.
I was picturing when you get really tired and you've been playing a game for super long. So he's just starting to picture himself as like that character, and he's like, third person.
He's losing the sense of self.
Nice. And your effect die. So nothing that really like comes strongly to the forefront this time because no corruption was added. And no, hitches were dropped. But your gaining ground goes to a D12 as you finish up the 5th day.
And I say, ride Shadowfax. Show us the meaning of haste.
And the D4 was added into your pool, so the difficult trail is gone.
Hey!
Hey.
It has
I
swung
double
strongly
helped.
in your favor. This is great. So on the 6th day, you are crossing through the borderlands. There's forts in the distance, watchtowers, which you weave between them, following this Fade's trail. There's definitely a chance that you're going to catch up to it before it gets into the Blight proper. What do you do?
Welcome to the Blight proper. Hope you enjoy your stay.
We catch up to it, we kill it. Woo!
Yay!
Yep.
I'm
Who's
sure
gonna roll?
That's exactly how it
You
will
should.
go.
Do magic stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like if we're close enough, then I want to.
Break free.
Yes, absolutely. And by break free, I mean I'm going to break free the earth underneath the Mudrill's mount to try and trip it up and cause it to.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is it the scene in Lord of the Rings where Arwen is riding from the I only wanted to say Mirdral. And I was like, no, Fades. No, that's still not right.
I mean, they do sometimes call them fades, yeah.
That's true. So I said I have green, channeler, combat weaving, and then let's see, this will be glory for my value, I think. And then let's do dexterity to get it positioned properly as he's running super fast.
I like it.
Okay, so that is a 13 with a d10 of effect die.
Okay.
Noise.
Roll real poor.
I have
Roll
a
some ones.
Get all the ones. Ones.
I have a much smaller dice pool these days.
Good.
And did you add gaining ground?
Oh, I
Did you add a D12?
It's a d12 as well.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna swap that slightly and say that I got a 19 with a d10
Yeah.
effect die.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
much better. You're like, wait a second.
Well, the best I
Because
can
I just
get,
rolled a 12 on that 12, so
Perfect.
the best I can get is a 13.
Second murder.
that sucks to be you.
Yup. All right. So let me just switch this, and
We should play some Prozac right about now.
sucks to be you. I know.
I know.
Okay.
Sucks to be you.
I know it's true.
So you're approaching. It is a daytime, actually. Oops. What did I do?
No shadows for you, Mirdral. Mr. Drawl.
And you can see it in the distance, as it's riding quickly northward and away from you. You channel and bring the earth up underneath it, and its horse stumbles. The Murdral seems to like pour on some haste, and let me switch this to a little bit more dramatic music.
Yeah, dramatic.
And I'm in the slightly roar.
A man hits a stick.
Okay, we're gonna just pull this off, and we're just gonna hear that. Okay. The Murdral pours on some haste, rides towards a river. It finds a bend, and its horse slams into the water, and like the icy water crests around it, and you're all, the five of you, riding quickly. You can see a bundled form pushed and held in front of the Murdral, legs kicking, and you approach the bank of the river, and the Murdral turns and wheels its horse towards you, drawing its sword.
If you want her, come and claim her.
Pretty much. And
We've really flipped the script on this scene.
Yeah, seriously.
let's bring up this beautiful map by Tom Kartos once again.
Tom Kartos is the
Cortex!
And here's this.
That's our best friend, right?
sick. Our best friend Tom Kartos.
Yeah, exactly.
Our best friend Tom Cortex.
If we somehow become friends with Tom Kartos, I'm gonna be really thrilled about that. Because the maps are really good.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
And so all of
Yeah,
you are currently on the southwest side of the river, like so.
This is Lord of the Rings.
And that's where
Draw
we'll
some
end
of
it
the
for
orc.
tonight.
No! Fuck!
Oh.
God damn it! It's only 11:10. Let's keep going.
I am an old man. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, that
Some
was
whiskey in you,
beautiful.
Tim. Let's go.
I think that was the most narrative, like interesting character-driven chase that we've ever done. Like the Lord of the Rings travel comes close, but that was fun. Like it really felt like days were passing and your characters were getting closer and bonding, and you changed it up. There was definitely a chance that it got away and got to its destination. There was a chance early on that you would have just lost it.
Yeah, that was a very high chance.
I was like, oh man, are we just gonna fail this whole encounter?
Yeah, I was
entirely?
kind of wondering. I'm like, and then what? And then what?
Yeah.
Well, then we
lose
just
the
ride around the
food,
woods.
and they escape into the Blight, and we fail. Game
Yeah,
over.
and we have to tell we don't even go back to that house. We're just like,
We are
"No."
ashamed, and so we walk away, heads hung low.
All right.
We die in the woods.
So as we're wrapping up, people in the chat, last chance, 10-15 seconds, put the word tinker in the chat to win another copy. We've got 2 entrants in there, and we've got 5 of these to give away. 3 of you in there could just get one of these by just putting the word tinker in the chat. And if you've won it already, don't worry about it. Win another one. Send it off to a friend. It's
If you don't want it,
Christmas.
do it anyway. Who cares?
So thank you everybody who's playing. Thank you players. This was a wonderful, exciting game. Thank you for chatting about episodes 2, 3, and 4 of the Wheel of Time.
Ugh. Fantastic.
Can't wait for the rest.
Mm-hmm.
So excited. For
So good,
the
so
next
good.
episode.
So we're going to be back in 2 weeks on December 17th, and we'll discuss episodes 5 and 6. At the same time, episode 7 will be out, but we won't be talking about it. We'll be talking about episodes 5 and 6.
Which I'm so excited to talk about at least 5. Like,
Yep.
Do I have to come to your house, Alex?
just watch it, and you'll see why
I'm
I'm
going
so
to watch
excited.
it the second we're done
Literally as soon
here.
as we go offline, I'm sure.
I've been waiting to turn it on.
I haven't said any spoilers about it, just that I'm really excited about it. Okay.
I'm gonna be super pissed if it's real shit.
Thank you so much to Roll20 for sponsoring us. You're wonderful. Look at this beautiful virtual tabletop that we have set up. Thank you so
good.
much to Neverending for these. Oh my goodness, I didn't share it. For these lovely character portraits that we're able to make. Everybody stare in awe at this beautiful Merdral I made.
I don't like that at all. It's so disturbing that you can make it literally eyeless.
Yeah,
So good.
isn't it great?
I also love that he's not wearing sleeves because show off his buff ass arms.
That's right.
Hey guys, you see the Trollocs over there?
Was mine?
Oh no, sorry. I think there was. I think they were over there.
And so yes, this lovely Merdral made with Neverending. And thank you to the lovely folks at Fandom Tabletop, CortexRPG, for giving us these giveaways. We have so many, I think it means I need to run another Cortex campaign sometime.
Oh no.
What's that way?
Oh no,
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
terrible.
What will you do?
I mean, we already have these characters. They're already tied in. What's another three?
You're right. We will have to play a full campaign of this.
I mean, I wasn't thinking Wheel of Time. I was thinking something else, but I mean... Anyways, thank you to our 2 folks who have entered the giveaway, and thank you so much to everybody else who came out to hang out in the chat. Welcome back. I'm sorry you're not entering to win things, but, you know, come on back to hang out with us in 2 weeks' time. And tell your friends, get them to come over and check it out. We just want to hang out and have fun and talk about Wheel of Time and then play Wheel of
And
Time.
give you things.
And give you
Yeah.
things.
You just
Also
get
give
stuff.
you things.
We have
Yeah.
so
Pay
many things to
nothing.
give you.
You hear our dumb idiot voices for a bunch of hours, and then you guess stuff.
Yeah. Last couple of things, of course. Socials are right down there. Follow us on Twitter at SkyhammerK, on YouTube at SkyhammerPress, on Instagram at SkyhammerPress, and at SkyhammerDice. If you want to check out
Skyhammer?
some
I don't know.
fancy, cool dice, which heads up, you can order those from a store in Edmonton called Rolling Tales. If you go to Rolling Tales' website, you can order them and get them shipped to you. You can pay shipping and get our dice. There's actually 3 sets left in there. Yeah, there's actually 3 sets left in their shop right now. We sold 4 this month.
They make some stupidly attractive dice. It's very
Aren't they? Yeah, I drew a little bit every time with
Thank
the
you.
new one.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
That's okay. I was over there and I got to see all the stuff they've been working on, and I contemplated pocketing a couple sets. I was like, I can ink them myself. Whatever. They'll never know. They'll be like, we lost a set of dice.
Oh, no.
I think they would know.
Obviously,
They
the
would know.
children stole them. No, we'd blame Aiken.
What a great experience that would be if your kids were stealing your dice to play Dungeons and Dragons with. And also
I have
super
a
weird because you have
feeling-
like 700 sets of dice.
Yeah, I was
Why
just gonna
would
say,
you
I
need
feel
to
like we
steal
have a
them in
very
their household?
D&D positive household.
We do. I ran D&D
Yes.
for the kids last Saturday.
Awesome.
Just wait till you play a Violet game. It's a
Oh.
roller coaster.
Yeah.
But we should.
Yep, let's wrap it up. Closing the giveaway, we have 2 people. Let's see who gets it first. Congratulations, Zawookie. You won a book. Thanks for coming, and thanks for following and subscribing. I see you up there. Your name's right there in the recent subscriber.
Shaking that thing.
And congratulations to Alakai Noel.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
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 So,
Yeah.
I will get in touch with you two over Twitch messages. So check your messages. I will send you a code. You go to the Cortex RPG website and redeem the code, and you get a PDF copy of the book.
And it's
Pretty cool.
such a good system.
It is. It's really exciting.
It's so versatile. It's crazy. You
All
think
right.
of a thing you want to play that, Cortex Prime will do it.
Yep. And
I could make a Heralds of Valdemar game.
you can make
I don't
it
know what that
easy.
means, but yeah.
It also
You
comes
can
with.
make a pretzel stick game.
It also does come with 3 settings built into the book. If you don't want to do the work, they've got it. Yeah, they've got what's it? Eidolon Alpha, Trace 2.0, and Hammerheads. So like,
Uh-oh, Jen
Wow.
has veiled herself.
oh no, the veiled Aiel. Eidolon Alpha is like high fantasy Greek mythology sort of stuff. Hammerheads is adventuring in space, and Trace 2.0 is like CSI.
Cool.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Okay, I have to go now.
Good night, everybody. Patrick, enjoy watching
Night.
episode 5. Everybody else, if you haven't watched episode 5, go watch it. It's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. I'm gonna go rewatch
gonna
episode
cry.
1 through 5. So,
There you go.
If I cry, I'm going to be super pissed.
Thanks for coming out. Good night, everybody. And the
Bye,
VOD will be
everybody.
on
Good night, everyone.
YouTube.
Alrighty.
Let's hit that.